committee is gathered here in the sight of the goddess to pass fair and frank judgment. Oh, the purpose is here is to assess the professional competency of Miles Edgeworth.
So she's not crazy for the goddess. They're all crazy for the goddess. Are you? What the hell's going on? Why are you wearing that raincoat? I do wonder the same thing. What's Kay gonna be? No! Oh no, she's dying!
Oh shit! No!
Oh my god!
Never take your badge, Miss Edgeworth. How can you just stand here, cool as a cucumber?
We don't know for certain that they will.
Well, it sure seems like they mean to. Jessica Bell pretty much spelled it out.
She said that I would be called to appear before the committee. Nothing more.
We're busy in here. Come talk back later.
Hey there. Is Prosecutor in? Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth?
Look, pal. What part of we're busy don't you get? Wait outside and I'll be...
Oh, that's not good. Your face is as red as a tomato. Wait, that's it. Stomach cramps, right? No need to worry. It's nothing an injection can cure. Now roll up your sleeve for me. It won't hurt much.
No thanks, pal. I'm as healthy as can be.
And who might you be? The name's Needler. Florence Needler.
Oh my god.
I'm a nurse at Hart's Hospital. Oh, those are some deep furrows in your brow. Are you feeling alright? Suffering from a severe headache? I could give you an injection that'll... I'll be fine, thank you. Could you please just tell us what you're doing here? Huh? Oh, sure. Well, it's like this. I brought somebody to see you. Wait! Sorry to keep you fellas waiting. Well, thoughts? That is Kay.
She looks completely different.
Thoughts on what?
Oh yeah, that is Kay. Wow, yeah. That is a hell of a change. Alright, so what's the damage? Her right eye is damaged. Her cheek was damaged. That's kind of weird anime thing.
And a finger.
Her arms were damaged. You don't recognize me?
There's something about her. Something familiar. Oh, she has amnesia.
She has amnesia? Had your name on it. So I thought, just maybe, I'm so sorry.
What she's trying to say is, she has amnesia.
Amnesia?
Her parents must be so worried about her.
Her parents are dead.
I bet they've only been getting around 8 hours of sleep each night. You got a feel for them.
Alright.
Why though? Because that's quite a lot of sleep if you ask me. At the very least, we might be able to help you figure out your identity. Where do we even start?
So, do you remember your name, miss?
I'm sorry.
She's been like this since she came in yesterday. They found her wandering around late last night and brought her in.
She was wandering around after that fall? What the hell?
Yeah, okay.
Oh my god. I think she's friends with Phoenix Wright and does his workout routine.
I wanted to help out, so I went through her stuff to see what I could find. She was wearing this. It's a pretty unique design, right?
Oh, this pin!
She's the Yatagarasu!
What the heck?
Kay, is it really you?
Hey?
It's you, isn't it, Kay?
I'm... Kay?
Come on, Kay, you really don't remember? Look, it's me, Gummy! That's what you always called me!
But you're an adult! That's so rude! I don't really call you that, do I? I'm so sorry! I can't believe
What the heck happened to you? I've never seen you being so polite!
You make it sound as if Kay isn't normally a polite or sensitive soul.
She's the Yatagarasu! So what kind of person was I before? A great thief?
Well, first of all, your full name is Kay Faraday. You're bright and fun and full of energy and... Oh yeah, you're a great thief!
There's a little more to it than that, but yes. But it sure explains one thing. Look at these gloves. They're just the kind of person like that would wear.
You couldn't have shown us this before!
It's what she was wearing when they found her. There's something on this part here.
I'll send the outfit over to forensics later and see what they can figure out.
I'm criminal.
You may be a great thief, but you've never committed a crime in your life. Rest assured you are no criminal.
How do we know each other exactly?
It started with you kicking my shins.
Yeah, you were kind of a bitch as a child.
You're Prosecutor Edgeworth's assistant.
I am? So a prosecutor's the head of some sort of great thief network? Oh my god, I'm just crying. I just can't say that seriously.
No, not quite.
Must have been the only item on the person when you received her nurse needler. There were a few other things, but I doubt any of it would be of much use to you. I'll be the judge at that. Could you please show them to us?
A jamming ninja mask? Was she gonna show us something?
A letter. It's addressed to Kay. A ticket stop.
Gold big building.
Yeah, big with an extra G.
A fake flower, the kind people like to spruce up their bathrooms with too.
It's a corsage, detective. And they're usually worn by women.
Oh, this is bad. How do we get Kay's memory back?
Calm down, detective. I have an idea. Look closely at the ticket stop. Oh, it's for a viewing platform at the top of the big building.
Big building? You know the place?
Everybody knows it's silly. It's the hottest date spot in town. They say if a couple holds hands while they're up there, they'll stay together forever. This is yesterday's date, and the ticket is only valid for the date specified. Well, shall we go see what we can find?
Now, just like that?
Right, so can I leave Kay with you?
No! She needs hospitalization!
She's an amnesiac. She needs to be supervised.
She has broken bones, at least a finger, probably head damage. So no!
That would be for the best, but you don't mind, do you, Kay?
Oh, of course not. Thank you.
Now then, detective, shall we get going? You too, Kay.
She should be in a hospital right now.
Oh yeah, she should be in a hospital.
So according to this pamphlet, the big building's 50 stories high. There's all offices inside, so the viewing platform on top is the only part that's open to the public. Yeah, this one's for you, sir. They were handing them out for free in the ticket area.
The big building.
The big building is about to fall? What?
What?
Oh no, Demon Kid! It's Penny! Screw you, Demon Kid, it's Penny! It's no good. Without fresh milk, my thoughts just aren't getting through to him?
It's not demon milk, it's a cow. It's not demon, it's a cow.
What's happening here? What's going on with the building? Just say come and talk to me, kid.
Oh, they're filming! They're filming!
Cut! I'm so sorry. We're shooting a movie. So could you,
I forgive our intrusion. We'll get out of your way.
Whoa, get a look at that view! Feel the sun in your face!
the wind! It's very strong up here!
Well, okay, does this place bring back any memories? Ah, okay.
This is really kind of the first real gameplay, and it took us nearly 30 minutes to get here. I still can't be sure if I've ever been here before. It's so high up, and the wind is so strong. It's terrifying.
Hold it!
If nothing is coming to mind, then just take a look around. You recognize anything? Anything at all?
Let's see. Cherry blossoms. I was standing under the cherry tree. Yes, I was trying to stay out of the rain. It was raining. I remember now.
Okay, we solved her amnesia.
Yay. And there was a red something. Was it something I said?
No, but if you could add that to your testimony, we can explore it further.
But from under the cherry tree, I think I saw something red.
Hold it!
This something red. Can you tell me any more about it?
I'm not sure. It was just a red thing. That's all I can say.
Was it the concession stand over there?
A stand? A red concession stand? Yes, I think it was. Somebody was walking toward me from beyond it. Then, I'm sorry.
That's alright, if you could just add to what you told us to your testimony.
But there was someone walking towards me from beyond the concession stand.
Hold it!
We're just getting all the info.
The stand in question is the one behind you, correct?
That's right. I remember the red color and the person walking towards me from beyond it. I saw it all from under the cherry tree.
Tell me something. This person you keep mentioning, you did not see their face. And you just simply don't know who they were.
I'm sorry. I'm just not sure.
Objection!
You said that you saw someone over there beyond the stand. Oh, beyond the stand. And that they were walking toward you. Are you sure it wasn't a ghost?
No, it was a person. I'm sure of it.
But from where you were standing, anyone you saw on the other side of the concession stand would have to been floating in mid-air hundreds of feet above the ground.
I knew it. Max Galactica.
So how on earth could it have been a person?
I don't... I'm not lying, I promise. Somebody read the stand. Somebody read, and they were on the other side. They were walking towards me, getting closer and closer. And then they. Oh my god, Kay!
Kay, what's the matter? You alright? We're here. Whatever it is, it can't hurt you.
I was pushed and I fell by a person it has a red raincoat. From the first one, it was Lotta's assistant person this time.
Oh.
Tabby Lloyd, that was her name. It's Tabby Lloyd.
A person in a red raincoat who could walk on air. And who supposedly pushed her off the building. None of this makes any sense. Not the least of which, nobody could fall from this height and survive.
She's Kay Faraday. I want to know this. Rosie. Who is Rosie?
Yeah, who is Rose?
Has been Hotel Rosie. Kay's gonna get eaten. Why are you here? Attention, everyone. Please stay right where you are.
What's wrong, officer? I'm Detective Gumshoe. Mind filling me in?
Yes, sir. A body has been discovered here in the building, sir. Of course.
Whose body exactly?
Not sure. We're still working on it. But what we do know is that the victim is a young woman, and that her name is Kay.
What?
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 What is happening? Kay.
Yep, that is not Kay.
Wait a second.
Is this the building?
The building is for. Oh my god. The big building also houses the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence.
Oh no.
That's hilarious. Wow, Kay, how'd you keep up?
Wait, this room. I knew they'd moved out of the prosecutor's building, but I had no idea they'd come here.
No, seriously, how? How do you not know where they're located? You have the trial with them.
Yeah, that is very
Surely
weird.
they told you.
How y'all doing? Is Kay feeling any better? Damn, she is ancient. We heard there was some kind of incident. I'm sorry, but who might this be? This is my grandma. Hold on one second. Name's Hilda Hertz, Sonny. And who the heck might you be? Nurse Needler? Your grandmother's name Hertz. Is she? Yep, she's the director of Hertz Hospital. This old woman is the head of a hospital. Don't you old folky me, you darn reprobate. It seems like the Hertz is a bit of an introvert.
Though it does remind me of an episode from Kim Possible, or a character from it. A Japanese guy who speaks perfect English you find out during a movie or something, but he always whispered in his assistant's ear because he just liked doing that.
Now, I don't got a dang thing more to say to none of ya. You go on about your business, you hear? As long as that business don't involve messing with the deceased body, I got work to do. What? Oh, didn't I mention Grandma's also a coroner? She's in charge of this case, which means... Ouch!
What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Examine the scene of the crime, of course. What kind of prosecutor would I be if I didn't?
That person over there is called Kay, right? Surely that means I can't be the Kay you know. No, you're definitely the Kay we know.
Yeah, that's what we're looking to figure out. But don't worry, you're the Kay we know. I'm certain of it.
Yay. So who's following me, Gumshoe? Yes.
Looks like it. Oh, shit.
That's a hell of a library back there.
The scales represent justice, the sword, retribution, and the blindfold shows her impartiality.
You know, I think this catches my attention. I don't know what else could possibly catch it.
What about the snakes on the pedestal?
Whoa, this is one big statue. And what's it even for?
Because it just stands in judgment over the committee's proceedings against corrupt prosecutors. If I'm not very much mistaken, it's a Paul Heliquay original.
Of course it is.
There's a pool of blood here at the foot of the statue. Also notice that the blood is actually going out from under it. Judging by the amount and how it has spread, so this is where the victim was killed. They were inside the statue hidden very clearly.
Oh, wow, we have her age. Wait, she's 60?
She's only 60? Things had gone as they were meant to. I'd be standing at this podium right now.
I'm glad the hearing got delayed, but I wish it wasn't because someone died.
I thought it would have been that much harder to investigate had my badge been taken away. Officer, tell me about the security arrangements for this room.
Yes, sir. You need a special key card to enter, sir.
Interesting. Not just anybody can enter? In which case, the person who discovered the body would have been...
Yes, sir. A member of the committee. They found it when they arrived for today's hearing. They gasp.
No, wait!
Holy shit!
Holy shit! Holy shit! Yes! Yes!
I did not expect her! Oh my god! I'd know that voice anywhere. That's from Karma's little girl. It has been too long, Grandma Heads. Oh, because she has a German name, they're probably related. And you as well, Miles Edgeworth.
What's he doing here?
Don't look so surprised. Where are my investigations led? I follow. No matter where in the world that might be. You know full well that I've been pursuing a certain smuggling ring. And that I won't rest until it has been destroyed and its ill-gotten goods recovered. I'm about done here. Scene's all yours. In that case, we'd like to examine the body ourselves too, if you wouldn't mind. I mind plenty. I remember where I heard about you now, you dange varmint. Don't need no soon-to-be ex-prosecutor messing the place up. Go on, get.
Please, Granny, it's important.
Who you calling a granny, little missy?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
Francisca, I need you to add us to the investigation. We have to see that body up close, or we'll never learn about the truth what happened to Kay. As in Kay Faraday? I don't know what you're up to, but very well. Taxpayers to receive a full explanation when I grill you later.
But one thing's for certain. This isn't Kay. She doesn't even look like her.
This victim looks to be in her 30s. She's wearing a white suit. Didn't she suffer a serious burn to her hand at some point?
You think it has something to do with how she died?
No, this guy's too old for that. She's holding something. Detective, could you open her hand for me?
What is this? Wait, I know. It's a loyalty card, probably from the store.
It's a key card. The question we should be asking is, what does it open? It opens this place, obviously.
Let's logic the room security and the key card together.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I would imagine that the victim's key card probably grants access to this room, wouldn't you?
Let me go find out, sir.
Ding.
I'm back. They found some details on that key card in the security system. It's for this room, just like you said.
This book.
What the? That's Kay's promise notebook. It's when she wrote down all the promises she made to her dad. Haven't seen this in a while.
I forgot how adorable she was. Never take things from a stranger. Well, she didn't follow that. Never go anywhere with a stranger. Always greet people with a smile, even those you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Always try. A lot of people should do Promise 5 there.
Yeah. What exactly is it doing here?
Oh, I just remembered something Detective Bat told me a few years back. He said something about Precious to Kay had disappeared from the station.
What? It isn't missing from police custody?
The Bat said he looked for it everywhere, but no dice.
What could this mean? Why did it turn up here of all places?
You think this could be the murder weapon?
A three-armed candelabrum! Thank you for knowing these things, Edgeworth. The victim suffered the same number of puncture wounds to the chest. Damn! Puncture wounds that could have been made by these 3 spikes. A pure white jacket with a deep red stain on his lapel. This jacket, the buttons on the wearer's right-hand side.
What's so weird about that? Buttons always go on the right, no?
Not in women's clothing. Originally the buttons would be on the left. Wait, what's this in the pocket?
Pair of gloves, also white.
They don't seem to be soiled in any way. Imagine they must have belonged to the victim. It doesn't look as if there's anything in the chest pocket.
Nothing except this hole right here.
So most likely what happened is she got hit on the head, and then she was stabbed.
Very likely. There's something pinned to the jacket here. A piece of magenta fabric.
Whatever it was, it looks like it was torn off pretty roughly.
Judging by its appearance, I'd say that the flower Kay was carrying originally belonged to the victim.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it does look like it's made out of the same fabric. So I just made up exactly. You got one heck of an eye, sir.
Yay.
This implies a connection between the victim and Kay Faraday. Furthermore, it appears that the flower was torn off with considerable force. Kay Faraday was involved in the incident somehow, and based on what we are seeing here, we may have no choice but to treat her as our main suspect.
What? Well, there's no way she could have done this. I can't even begin to imagine it. There isn't a murderous bone in her body.
For the moment, we are simply considering all the possibilities. Isn't that right, Miles Edgeworth? For the better or worse, yes.
Well, look who it is again! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, whoa! You're here on your own?
Oh no, he's gonna get trounced!
With a winning smile and the #1 name in the business, it is I, Prosecutor Eustace Winner!
Please forgive the intrusion.
Step away from that body, Edgeworth. I didn't call for you, and I don't need you. This case is mine. It's what the victim would have wanted.
So it really is her. But be not afraid, everyone. The gods of justice will guide us to the truth.
She sure will. Now that I'm here, everything is going to be all right. Whoever did this will live to regret it. I'll show them.
Miles Edgeworth,
Who is this imbecile? Yes! Yes! Well, why am I getting the death glare? I've got nothing to do with him.
And the deceased in this case is...
Rosie Ringer, attorney at law, and a member of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence.
Oh, she was a member.
So you're the lead prosecutor?
Yep, which means this case will be solved in...
You didn't tell me your name yet, little boy.
If you want to know my name, all you have to do is...
Stop babbling and tell me now.
It's Eustace Winter.
I think we've established where the balance of power lies in this particular room.
Room with Francesca in it means Francesca's in charge.
Yeah, but when she's in the room, you listen to her.
Mr. Guy in charge? Here, this is from Grammar.
What's this? Oh, the preliminary findings. Looks like it's game over for you, Edgeworth.
Alright, that's me done. See you next, Stiff.
Let's see. So the wound on her head is from when she fell over after she died.
Eustace?
It was the candle holder that killed her, huh? And she died sometime late last night. What now, Cavell?
It's very kind of you to share the coroner's findings with everybody, Eustace. It's because he's not supposed to say it out loud. Perhaps you should leave it here. We wouldn't want you to strain your voice, after all. No, that would be a tragedy. Thanks for just speaking out loud, Eustace.
Anyway, that settles it. We need to arrest Kay Faraday.
You really mean to arrest her here and now? If you do, then I'll be forced to object. Loudly and forcefully.
And as a further confirmation when needed, there it is.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, just go. It's fine.
Fine? This isn't anything but fine, Kay.
I still don't remember anything. So maybe I did do it. Maybe I killed that poor woman and I just don't remember.
The goddess smiles on those who confess their sins. It is her wish that our confessions cleanse us.
But it's not a confession, she doesn't know.
If you really intend to arrest Kay, could you at least explain your grounds for doing so? I, for one, certainly don't intend to yield. Not until I've seen some evidence to support your accusations.
Then allow me. Prepare to be hit with a face full of deductive genius, Edgeworth. Why, I think Kay did it. They call it the human race because somebody has to win it. And that somebody is me.
Oh my god!
Dude, you got issues. I won this race too. I saw it before anybody else did. Kay Faraday is the murderer, no doubt about it. She snuck into the committee chamber looking to do some of her trademark great thieving.
Objection!
Like, it's that simple. Are you familiar with this room, Mr. Winner? It certainly sounds like you are.
What can I say? Winners know where winners go. I'm number 1, and 2, and 3.
In other words, the majority of your work is second, if not third rate.
Oh, burn!
Damn!
Why do you always have to make fun of me?
You can take it as a slight if you wish, but the fact remains that you seem unfamiliar with this key card.
Who do you take me for? Of course I'm familiar with it. You need one of those to get in here.
When's he gonna figure it out? There we go.
Don't you?
Have you no shame?
Mr. Winner, do you really even suspect Kay?
Of course I do. She did it. Faraday's the killer.
Then perhaps you can tell us how Kay got into such a secure room as this, without a key card.
There was yeah.
A masterful summary. Now, as we know, only members of the committee have keycards. Therefore, only they can enter.
Precisely. Please take a look at this. I had security pull the data earlier. As you can see, the door to this room was open at 12:52 a.m. with Miss Ringer's keycard.
Couldn't we just see what time she was checked into a hospital?
We cannot know for certain, of course. But who's to say the culprit didn't enter the room with Miss Ringer and then kill her over some sort of subsequent disagreement?
It's certainly a plausible theory. That's all it is.
Why don't we check the hospital records first?
One, it would require the victim and her murderer to have known one another. And they did. Yeah, but Kay had a communication from this Rosie.
Oh, that's true.
How can you possibly be sure of such a thing? That's pure speculation on your part, detective. There's no place for guesswork in the courtroom or at the crime scene. Hard evidence is what is required. In that case, are you suggesting that you have said hard evidence to support your theory? But of course. I have here a letter Dr. Hart's found in the victim's chest pocket. Shall I read it for you? Rosie, thanks so much for agreeing to help me with my plan. Now we can both get what we want. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. Kay.
And then we have one that says, don't worry, I'll make sure you get your precious thing back.
This would seem to indicate pretty strongly that the two of them were accomplices, wouldn't you say? No! Wait, so your principal suspect is Miss K. Faraday for his second crime as well as Miss Ringer's murder.
Nicely done, Gavel.
Thank you, Eustace.
Hold it!
We're not done here, I still have questions, and you'd better have answers. Would you mind if I handled this, Eustace?
Be my guest. Have fun arguing Edgeworth into the ground.
Case letter. As the letter more than accurately proves, Miss Faraday and Miss Ringer were acquainted. It seems Miss Faraday had asked for Miss Ringer's help in a plot of some kind, but for whatever reason, their alliance must have broken down. Miss Ringer lost her life in the resulting disagreement, but she had one last card to play. The letter she kept safe in her left chest pocket, which spells out the name of her killer.
Hold it!
We were able to examine the pocket in question for ourselves. And you want to know why the letter wasn't there, I assume?
It's simple. The police number one priority was handing it over to me.
Written had Kedina on her left side of her chest, next to her heart, in other words.
Was she stabbed in the heart?
Yeah, wouldn't it have a hole then? I have a little interest in sentimental speculations about Miss Ringer's desires. But one thing does interest me. The fact that you said the letter was in the victim's left chest pocket. That is where the letter was found, there's no doubt about it.
Objection!
So the victim kept the most vital clue of all closer to her heart. How very touching. The voices of the dead fight to be heard. And even then, they don't always reach us. Her voice rang out loud and true. It told us that Miss Faraday is her killer. I think you may have misheard her, Your Honor. Perhaps an evil spirit was trying to mislead you.
We need a fae here to find out what spirit's involved.
Perhaps we should try listening to the words of the coroner's report instead. By all means, if I recall correctly, the victim was stabbed on the left side. Oh, yes, I'm afraid so. You claim the letter was found in the victim's left side chest pocket.
Right where she was stabbed by the candle holder.
Well, Judge Kibble, how do you explain that? Yes, I can think of one explanation. That the letter was deliberately placed there after the fact, in order to cast suspicion on Kay. Someone went through a lot of trouble to create the crime scene we see before us. And that someone is the real culprit, who almost certainly also forged this letter. No!
Objection!
No, Faraday did it. The letter was, it was in her other pocket, yeah. The whole left chest pocket thing was a mistake. Whoever reported it must have meant their left. Ow, got hit by a whip and your little conductor thingy.
Stop your foolish floundering, you foolish fool! Or are you just sad, incurably foolish? The letter is stained with blood, which suggests it had indeed been placed somewhere on her left side. Therefore, I doubt there was some sort of mistaken report, unless the report was given by you. No objections? Good. Then allow me to continue. So we have established that the existence of a second suspect. Look again at the keycard record provided by Judge Gavella a short while ago. As already noted, the victim's key was used as 12:52 a.m. But you will note that someone else's keycard is also listed. A mystery person who could have entered beforehand and lay in wait for the victim, you mean?
I honestly hope Judge Gavel is not some evil bitch at the end of this whole thing.
This other person entered at 10:15 p.m. It's certainly not outside the realm of a possibility. Except I'm afraid it is. It was my keycard.
Oh, then why isn't it on there?
There's nothing suspicious about a committee member entering the chamber as I please. Perhaps not, but that's also not the exonerating evidence you seem to think it is. Unless you can also prove that you yourself didn't murder your colleague.
Overruled!
What utter nonsense! What would I have had to gain from killing her?
Objection!
I am sure you know how I'm going to answer that, Your Honor. I believe further investigation will shed light on any motives you might have had. I used my keycard, that much is true. But my reason for entering this room is far from questionable. I had business here in the committee chamber. There were certain preparations to make. I am not at liberty to share what I was preparing for, but I am sure Prosecutor Edgeworth can make an educated guess.
All right, children, that's enough. It's good to keep our skills and our tongues sharp, especially when we're young. But that'll do for now. He's evil. You can tell from his eyes. Really takes me back to the days of my youth. Back when I would wrangle with a certain detective. He disappeared, you know. I hope he's out there somewhere, living his best life. You'll have to forgive me. It's just, I get so emotional. The tears, I can't stop them.
Chairman winner.
What?
Oh, God!
What?
No, please, no! Haha, Verity, my girl. Do you ever stop working? Your dedication puts us all to shame. Yeah, he's definitely evil.
Look at the glass.
He's evil. Yeah, I know, he's evil, 100%. And is this young Francisca I see before me? Dear child, when did you get so big?
Uncle Winner. It's been far too long.
Yeah, Winner's evil, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Dad, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? A committee member has been murdered, and you're in charge of the case, my boy.
What is this? Bring your pops to work day?
A former chief prosecutor and the current chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence.
Now, Verity. There's no need to bring all that up. I'm just a harmless old man, really. I am Excelsius Winner!
Of course, it's Excelsius.
Father to this idiot boy, among other things. My wife and I were so happy when he was born. And now she's gone too. Heaven only knows where. Dad, you're... Here, use my handkerchief. Thank you, son. You're a good boy. In your own silly way.
At least they seem to have a good relationship.
68?
Damn!
Damn, we had Eustace late.
We have identified a prime suspect. 1K Faraday. We are currently trying...
Objection!
You don't have nearly enough to make her your prime suspect, and you know it. We are prosecutors, and it is our duty to identify suspects and bring them to justice. But I wouldn't dare call someone a suspect without evidence or motive.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, I know all about your relationship to the accused. Thick as thieves seems pretty apt, based on what I've heard.
Much about this case is still unclear, sir. Please, you have to let us...
It's heartwarming, really. The bonds of friendship are so strong among the young.
What?
But, circumstances being what they are, I'm afraid those bonds won't be enough. The prosecutor's office needs this case cleared up as quickly as possible. Time is, oh, so precious, and we have so little of it. And there are so many other cases. I'm sorry, but you understand, of course, don't you? All right, Miss K. Faraday. Time to come along quietly. Yes, sir.
You're not talking. You're not taking her. She's innocent, I tell you.
To defy a chairman of the committee is to defy the law itself.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, that's not how that works. It's an act it is an act so brazen, a hearing won't be necessary at all. Are you prepared for Mr. Edgeworth to lose his badge over this detective?
What? You? So either K goes down and Mr. Edgeworth loses his badge? What the heck am I supposed to do?
Did you use his badge to shield yourselves? Or how this sick committee too has fallen? Kay, you're innocent. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Thank you. We've only known each other for a short while, but you've been very kind. And I'm sorry. Sorry for being a criminal.
When I was little, all I wanted to do was be like my father. Become an attorney and fight for those who can't fight for themselves. But now my fate is tied to that of this one tiny badge. Who am I kidding? There's nothing to weigh up here.
Hold it!
Judge Cavell, a moment, please. Yes, what is it? Your badge! I'm returning it. From this day forth, I'm a prosecutor no longer. What are you doing? Miss Edgeworth, explain yourself right now. You give it all up? Just like that?
You can't mean it, sir. Tell me you're kidding, please. If you're not a prosecutor anymore, then what does that make me?
A detective?
I have I have one duty. And one duty alone. To pursue the truth. If being a prosecutor means I must turn a blind eye to the very truth before me, then I will gladly shed the title to be free.
Oh my god!
I'll carve my own path. One I believe in. I won't let my search for the truth end here.
Objection!
Are you running away from Stefan Karma? From me? Say what you will, Francisca. You won't change my mind. So you're leaving me behind again? I'll never forgive you for this! Never!
No, this is all my fault. None of this would have happened if it wasn't for me.
Wait, Kate, don't go!
Get her!
You stay right where you are, detective.
Well now, this is no good, is it? We let a dangerous criminal run free. I try and try, and yet, it's never enough.
There's no need to worry, sir. We'll set up a court. She won't get far.
She'd better not. I'll be very disappointed in you if she does.
Hey! She's not here either. Where are you?
Ha-ha! Eddie, my man! Knockity knock knock! Special visitor!
Fender!
Whoa! Talk about an unhappy face. Everything okay, big guy? You won't earn yourself too many admirers looking like that.
What are you doing here? Has something happened?
Has something happened, he asks. I'll say. It's been all over the news. A murder in the committee chamber? I'd call that happening alright. And what with your hearing being today? I thought, well, I couldn't help wonder if you were involved.
They're reporting it on the news already?
Heck yeah! A dead lawyer, a young woman on the run. They're lapping it up. It's crazy stuff, but compelling too, I gotta admit. So, are you gonna give me the lowdown or what?
Well, actually...
Whoa! Maybe warn a guy before blowing his mind next time. Things are even crazier than I thought.
This isn't a joke, Fender. Kay's out there somewhere, all alone and without her memory.
Not to mention being the suspect in a murder. That definitely doesn't make things any easier.
Kay isn't just some suspect in a murder to me. She's somebody I've come to know very well. Even if we've only been acquainted for a short while. And she'd never harm a fly, let alone another person.
Blow my mind twice in 5 minutes, why don't you? Kid's lucky to have you in her corner, champ. That's quite the bond that sprung up between the two of you.
It's nothing like that, really. She just likes to involve herself in my affairs.
Connections like that don't grow on trees. I should know. Alright, how about this for a plan? Why not go back to the source, look into how she lost her memory in the first place? You just might turn up some clues that'll help narrow things down.
Why are they here? Mr. Edgeworth, we meet again. What are you two doing up here? Well, seeing as we came all this way, we thought we might as well enjoy some cotton candy. So, how's Kay doing?
Yeah, where is she hanging out right now?
Oh, did something happen? Maybe I can help. How about an injection? No injections, thank you. Yeah, it did get kind of chilly, huh? Come on, let's head home. Alright then, Miss Edgeworth. Catch you again soon.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! How about some delicious Parting Clouds cotton candy to brighten your day? It's night. Our gimmick is we take a normal serving of cotton candy and we split it in half. Pot it, if you will. Half the candy, same price, double the profit. And we're laughing all the way to the bank. What?
I don't think your customers will be laughing if you keep sharing that information quite so freely. It was like a TV for showing announcements from the various companies in the Bigg building. But at the moment it's just showing a regular broadcast channel. Yeah. What am I standing here for? The Steel Samurai isn't on today! So the person in the raincoat that Kay saw mostly approached it from the direction of the concession stand. Which would suggest that he was pushed over this railing here. The railing is chest high. You'd have to try really hard to go tumbling over the edge of it. Everything looks sturdy enough too. It's a pretty sizable cherry tree. Its flowers are just on the cusp of full blossom. She was standing beneath this tree until she was pushed and fell.
Where the hell is Kay?
Oh, she's hiding in the bushes.
Oh, she was hiding in the tree. Hi. Don't mind me. I was just lying in wait.
I will make you a criminal, Kay. Perhaps you meant to say laying low.
Oh, yes, that. Fender, Kay's literally right here.
Nevertheless, I doubt people will look kindly on the suspect on the site of her supposed crime. Surely you understand that, even in your current state. On top of which, while you've been playing hide and go seek, I've been worried sick and frantically trying to find you.
Are you mad at me?
Of course I am. Now, what were you thinking coming back here?
I came to try and help you get your badge back.
What?
I thought if I could get my memory back, I might be able to remember killing that poor woman. I thought if I came back to where I lost my memory, maybe I could.
There's one thing you haven't lost, you know. Your ability to surpass my expectations at every turn. I couldn't be more certain now that you're the Kay I know so very well. However, I don't appreciate you being so reckless. Do you hear me?
Seriously, Miles, you're killing me here. You were banking good guy points, and then you went and blew it by blowing your top. Good to see you, kiddo. Glad to see you're safe. Come on, bring it in. Apparently, you were yelling at her. Good job. Okay? That's the spirit?
Not now, Fender.
Yeesh! I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
Live news now from the Bigg building, where shocking murder took place earlier today. Police continue their hunt for a young woman known to have been present at the scene. She's considered the prime suspect, and police say no effort is being spared in trying to track her down.
Oh, mama. They're not messing around, huh? Alright, first things first. Kay, you're sticking with us from now on, capiche? But I've caused you so much trouble already.
You can hardly make things any worse for me at this point.
Then it's settled. We're in this together like the Three Musketeers. Miles here will be in charge of proving Kay innocent.
And I will, believe me. How about we go over what you remember one more time?
Okay, I was standing under the tree, sheltering from the rain. Then I saw a person in a red raincoat. And then they pushed me.
You remember anything specific about the person in the raincoat?
I could see the moon over their shoulders as they came closer and closer.
The moon? Wait.
Yes, it's all very fuzzy, but it wasn't the exact same place it is right now, floating up there above the cherry blossoms.
The moon was visible over the mysterious figure's shoulder. Thinking back over what Kay has said, the person in the raincoat approached her from the direction of the concession stand, which implies that she was pushed over the railing on the side opposite the stand. She also said that she could see the moon over this person's shoulder, but when we checked just now, the moon was in a different location than expected. Yet Kay claims it's currently the same spot in the sky on the night of the incident. This throws the positions of the moon and the person in the raincoat out of alignment with her story. I think her memories may have become confused somehow. What's more, if she really had been pushed over the railing, she would have never survived the fall. Therefore, I must conclude she may not have fallen where she thought she did. You may have fallen, Kay, but it couldn't have been over that railing. Because if you had, you wouldn't be alive now to tell the tale.
But I definitely remember standing under that tree. If I was pushed, the only way I could have fallen is over that railing, isn't it? Not unless the ground opened up and swallowed you whole. The ground can open up just like that? How?
But it may also be closer to the truth than you think, Fender. Yeah, because I saw a hatch. Let's take another look at the ground in that area. There's a chance we might have missed something.
Looks like a service hatch. Kay, do you think you might have fallen down here instead? Nah, you'd never be as clumsy as that. I'm sorry, I just can't say one way or the other. My bad, kiddo. Just another one of my silly musings. You don't have to take me so seriously, you know. I don't? Never? Well, maybe not never. If I told you to leap lyrically into my arms, whatever that means.
Fender!
So, never then.
As you can see, there's still hard work up on the 50th floor. That's where the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence holds their disciplinary hearings, correct? That's right. There have been people walking by the windows all evening. This is one serious investigation.
17-year-olds saw it in connection with lawyer slaying. How dare they?
Wait, something's very wrong in this picture. I can use a certain piece of evidence to help me deduce exactly what. Yeah. Is it 50th? Why is it 51st floor?
You mean with the brochure?
I think so. Yeah, there shouldn't be a 51st floor.
Eureka!
Question, how many floors does this building have?
Easy. 50, right? Kinda ironic that just a few feet above where the committee works its ugly little schemes is a place where sorry-eyed young romantics come to wish for everlasting smoochy times. But then, what's that dog space above the 50th floor? The gloomy underbelly of love? Wait a minute.
Exactly. The Commitee Chamber is supposed to be on the top floor, directly beneath the viewing platform. But it actually appears to be located one floor below that. There appears to be a hidden 51st floor.
It's probably like a maintenance floor.
Plus, it obviously hit the 51st.
Yeah.
How has a whole floor between the 50th and the viewing platform remained undetected all this time?
You got me there. Kinda hard to hide a set of stairs going up to it, if you ask me.
Things like stairs that are normally out in the open going unnoticed by people seems a bit implausible, which can only mean the 51st floor is no ordinary floor, and can't be reached by ordinary means. Consider, if you will, the hatch be found by the cherry tree.
Let's go take a look. Ugh. Alright. There we go. Look at all that stuff down there. Is it a storeroom?
Whatever it is, I think we can safely say that this is where you fell.
So we found a hidden storeroom. How about we scooch on down and check it out?
We have pretty much exhausted everything up here. It can't hurt to take a look. Wait.
Oh, look who it is.
Oh boy. Okay. Is that you, Mr. Edgeworth? Emma? What are you doing here? I heard about what happened from Detective Gumshoe. I was in the area, so I thought I'd come by and see what's going on. This is Emma Skye. She's a high school student, currently studying in Europe to become a forensic scientist. The younger sister of a former superior of mine. We also stood in court together. The detective called me up in a panic. He said your badge fell off in the big building and the cave was in a man's suit and... Hold it right there.
What?
Didn't you just leave to go back to Europe a few days ago? Yep, I'm here with one of my professors. Not to do any schoolwork or anything, just to do some interpreting. Then shouldn't you be off doing that instead of galvanating around a crime scene? Anyway, never mind me. This is about Kay. How is she? Where is she?
Aw, shucks. Isn't that sweet, K-Meister? Your little friend is worried about you. Oh, yes.
Who's this guy? Don't tell me you went and got a new assistant, Mr. Edgeworth.
Very funny, young lady. It's actually the other way around, I'll have you know. Eddie Fender, attorney at law, and senior partner at Edgeworth & Co. Law Offices.
Edgeworth? So you are his assistant? Wait, attorney? Since when were you a defense attorney? I'm not! What is this, some kind of weird experiment? Pass your dad down below. I'll explain there.
Hokery-dokery-do. Down the hatch we go.
This is...
Is this the smuggling?
This is the smuggler's ring. So the hidden 51st floor is really being used as a storeroom.
How did they get the tiki thing in here? It's bigger than the elevator.
These are all case files from various murders. What? But why would they be in here? It should be safely on the lock and key at the courthouse or the prosecutor's office. Something very suspicious going on here. Need to find out more. He was carrying a jamming ninja mask when she was found. It looks like it might have originally come from this hook. Scientifically speaking, that doesn't seem like a crazy hypothesis.
And I remembered why I didn't like Emma. She's like my least favorite of the helpers.
Yeah, she's just all about scientifically. Which would mean that Kay was really here? As she put it, not a crazy hypothesis. But why? If I'm not mistaken, several of the items on display here. A piece of evidence from old cases of mine. What are they all doing here? Maybe this is what the committee store stuff it's looking into? The committee is the smuggling ring.
It wouldn't surprise me at this point with how corrupt they are.
All have labels. Labels with numbers printed on them. I guess these are prices. That's odd. This is the only spot with nothing on it. Indeed, and look, there's an outline in the dust on top of the cloth. I'd say something was probably sitting there until quite recently, wouldn't you? I might have an idea. A star-shaped outline. The outline in the dust matches the bottom of the candelabrum exactly. I'd say there's a very strong chance that this is where our murderer took it from. Which would mean the candelabrum was evidence from another case? Key thing to note is that the murder weapon was taken from this storeroom. Oh, isn't he a cutie? Look at this fluffy little guy! That's the stuffed animal we found at Gourd Lake. He should be in the possession of the prosecutor in charge of that case. Oh, but look, he's missing his left horn! Yes, but he never had it in the first place. At least not as far as we ever saw.
This is from the western area with the car and stuff. This is from the airplane. Are these from his mansion?
Yeah, these are the prices.
Why is there just money?
That's a lot of money.
These are just all old things from our previous cases.
Scientifically speaking, I'd say this looks like some kind of wooden icebox. Yeah, the chains are probably to stop the cold air from escaping. I don't mean to contradict you, Emma, but isn't this just a box for storing clothes in? Wood is imbued with natural repellent that keeps moths away. Oh, yeah, sure. I guess you could look at it that way too. And keeping your clothes chilled would be nice for the summer, right? Piles of banknotes just left out for all to see. A little tasteless, wouldn't you say, because they're fake? No way, these are all $100 bills. That's a fortune right there.
I mean, price tags and money.
Yeah, lots of money. We've seen items of old evidence marked with price tags along with a huge pile of cash. I think it's pretty clear that somebody has been running an illicit trade in judicial goods. Shady deals on a hidden 51st floor? This is big. It has to be, right? I think it might be, but we'll need to investigate a little further yet. Someone call Francesca.
Call Franny!
If only when an eyewitness we could interview. This statue. What is it? Got some new data for me? Not exactly. It's just something from a case I worked on. A piece of evidence. An old case, huh? Richard worked on a bunch of different... What?
Why? How?
What?
Wait, what? Alright. Get to be my favorite character. Gotcha! Caught in the act, red dang handed. Guiltier than a tomcat covered in cream.
My eyes! Stop it at once!
Ain't no stopping my snapping, not till I got every dang detail and then some. Y'all think I'm about to let a bunch of dirty criminals go before I get the shot? Think again. This here camera's a weapon of justice. It ain't about to be hornswoggled by your cheap denials.
Oh, it's you.
Her hair looks less fluffy than usual.
Yeah.
Huh? You're that low-down dirty jerk of a prosecutor, ain't ya?
Who are you calling a low-down dirty jerk?
Quit making that face, will ya? That's the face of a no-good schemer if I ever saw one. Well, it's payback time, Mr. Schemer. You ought to be thankful all I want from you is a couple pictures. That's why I took 30,000 of them.
Why exactly are you here, Miss Hart?
Me? I told you, I'm in it for the truth. For the good of society. And for little old me, of course.
If you won't tell me the real reason you're here, perhaps I can hazard a guess. Somebody was carrying out an illicit police evidence trafficking scheme here in the storeroom. Oh, so she's after a juicy story. Makes sense.
Did you ever have an assistant called Tabby Lloyd? What? How did y'all figure that out? One of my sources told me on the down low about an underground auction.
What? So all the items here?
Were sold to the highest bidder. Folks were slinging money around like it was going out of fashion. Should have heard the tales my contact was telling. Taller than 2 trees, or so I thought at first. So yesterday I snuck in, slunk behind this here statue, and settled in to wait. Bidding started late at night and carried right on through to the break of dawn.
Was there anything else on sale apart from the items of evidence in this room?
Sure. There was regular old stuff too. Shady artworks from who knows where. That kind of thing. But the evidence was the big draw for sure. I reckon they were selling them faster than the crooks could smuggle them out of the cop and prosecutor shops.
And I'll bet you got pictures of the whole thing, right, Miss Hart?
Well, you see, the main event was down below. I had to try and see what I could... Just with how it's worded though, I had to try and see what I could from up here.
Yeah, it's very southern. Having been up here since yesterday, I assume you witnessed the entire auction from start to finish then.
It was an underground affair, like I said, so folks wasn't exactly giving much away. All of them customers came down at one at a time from up on the roof there. They were en masse just as soon as they got down the ladder, and that ain't all.
Ah.
They had voice changer doodads on them, see? Teeny tiny ones, dinkier than a bug's behind.
Oh.
It's so you couldn't see their real faces and you couldn't hear their real voices. Surreptitious as all heck.
It's surreptitious. You mean surreptitious, right?
I surely do. Sweet surreptitious. I can't say these words.
She can't say the word. Also another word.
Anywho, once they had their gear on, they went right on downstairs.
So this is really high-class society smuggling.
Yeah. And then, in came the next one. When it came time to leave, they all done the same but in reverse. Up they came again, one by one.
And how many participants were there?
11 altogether. I counted them when they came down the ladder. And once they was all down there, I snuck up and took me a peek at what's going on.
You mean the elevator remained in the room beneath?
Nah, they sent it back up. But there's a little peeky hole if you know where to look. Elevator don't quite sit flush with the floor, see? And if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang.
You can't decide who was in charge.
Hey, alright, sure. I guess I did. Ain't half so good a story if you don't get a glimpse of the evil ringleader after all.
You mentioned a ringleader. Can you tell me any more about them?
Y'all should know, I came here to get me an exclusive.
God damn it, Lotta!
And an exclusive ain't much dang good if you done spilled the beans already.
I see, so you don't actually know anything about them.
You got me. Couldn't see if I was a man or a woman, a kid or an old-timer, nothing.
What were they wearing? You see that at least.
Sure, white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower on the lapel. Them 3 things is what I remember. But what good's a description of the outfit if I don't got a clue who was wearing it?
So this is ringleader disguised identity too, just like everybody else.
Yes, sirree! Mask, voice changer, the whole 9 yards.
They were wearing one of the masks. Which one?
Let me see. Oh yeah, this guy, Zervin.
Servant?
What kind of a name is that? He's the global hero, Onion Kopon's arch nemesis. Who hasn't heard of Servant the Time Lord? So this is the outfit you saw?
Well, holy smokes, it sure as heck is. But, wait, so the big cheese is dead?
All we know is that she is the victim in the case we're investigating.
So somebody down bumped off the boss, huh? Then that's what was happening.
Well, when was this, what was happening?
Oh, nothing at all. Y'all just got on about your business now.
No offense, Miss Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious.
Suspicious my foot? I told y'all, it is nothing. And you won't get nothing more out of me than that.
Wait, so there is more.
How many dang times do I gotta tell you? It ain't nothing, okay? Ain't I saying nothing either way?
She isn't going to talk to either of us. Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma.
Oh, God.
I can see you're a little bit agitated, Miss Hart. Let's try calm down and try to talk reason.
I am called dang you. Leastways, I will be just as soon as y'all quit yanking my danged chain. That's better. Being a news hound's all about keeping a cool head no matter what the world throws at you, see?
Speaking of news hounds, this might interest you. I met one a few days ago. She was a very hungry young reporter indeed. A reporter with a very particular turn of phrase. Similar to your own, in fact. Her name is Tabby Lloyd. If I had closed my eyes, I couldn't believe I was listening to you. She told me about somebody she called the Chief. She was talking about you, wasn't she?
Oh, so y'all met Tabby, huh? Well, ain't that something? Where'd y'all bump into her? She's a great kid, reckon. Wait. Oh, no, you don't. You ain't getting on my good side bringing her into this, you sneaky snake.
You should tell me everything you know, and don't you dare leave anything out.
Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor me with you neither.
I don't have anything to do with you. That's a little unkind, don't you think? After all, I know your apprentice. I know her pretty well, in fact.
Yeah, well, I guess it does seem kind of cold of me to say that if you know her pretty good.
Good, then you'll tell us what you know?
Fine, see, it's like this. Got me a scoop. Wait, what am I thinking? Dang it, Lotta, you can't let him bamboozle you that easy.
You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell me what it is.
All right, I got me a scoop, a big one. But I can't just go blabbing about it to y'all. I got bills to pay.
This scoop of yours, does it have something to do with the auction?
You know what? I clean forget.
But you tried to infiltrate an underground auction. It only stands to reason that you observed something. Otherwise, what would you have had to write about?
Hey, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear nothing.
If you didn't hear the sound of nothing, does that mean you did hear the sound of something? Something during your time in this room?
Well, see, that's, it wasn't nothing really, just a little noise is all. Wouldn't even make page 16. Forget I mentioned it.
Your big scoop involves something criminal in nature, doesn't it?
Meh, might be it. Might be it did, might be it didn't.
Which is it? This is important.
I ain't done nothing shameful or nothing, just snuck in and did some undercover reporting.
I'll be the judge of whatever your actions were shameful or not. Your unlawful entry into private property is very shameful indeed. In fact, it's a crime.
Still, it don't amount to the whole hill of beans, right? There's folks out there that have done way worse. A murder for one. Next to murder, trespass ain't hardly nothing.
From your mutterings about murder just now, I gather that your scoop has something to do with a homicide.
No, I was just talking all hypothetical like. You know, about the murder being the big one and all. Ain't nothing worse than murder.
Not the most skillful evasion I've heard in my career.
Look, I done told you, okay? I snuck into the auction, I'll cop to that. But murder? I don't know nothing about no murder. Ain't seen nothing, ain't heard nothing. Scout's honor.
You told me you heard something during the auction. You claimed it wasn't important, but it must have been, otherwise why remember it? I think it was something very memorable indeed. In fact, I believe it was the crime of a murder victim.
Ugh! How do you keep doing that? Alright, it's true. I wound up smack dab in the middle of a murder scene, but only by accident. And that's all you're getting out of me. Won't be no scoop left otherwise.
You said you wound up in the middle of a murder scene. Is that really true?
You're calling me a liar now? Hoo-wee, now I'm mad. Real mad. I'm a journalist. How am I going to sell stories if folks can't trust that I'm telling the truth? I got me a motto, you know. Faster than anybody. Honester than everybody.
Motto, huh? You should describe the murder in detail. It's vitally important.
Wish I could help y'all, but I don't rightfully recall a whole bunch. Ain't much I can tell you. Sorry. I mean, look at me. Can't get my facts straight half the time.
I can't imagine that being so vague on the facts is a trait valued among journalists. Surely, accuracy and honesty is what's necessary in reporting on a story.
Well, see.
It seems your so-called information is not credible at all.
Look, there was a murder, and I was there. I can prove it.
You can prove it, can you? How?
I've got it right. Wait, you heard that? I was just talking to myself. Don't think nothing of it.
Be honest, Miss Hart. I know there's something you're still not telling me.
Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I done spilled my guts already.
I know you've been keeping something from me. And that something is proof. Proof related to the murder you witnessed. Proof sound enough to form the basis of a story you're hoping to sell.
I'll come clean, okay? That's what you want, right? Here, I done snapped me a photo. Happy now? You better be.
And that's checkmate.
My voice is dead. Can't believe I let that happen. Betrayed by my own big mouth. I saw the whole thing. Watched that auction from start to finish.
But you didn't just watch it, right? You took pictures too.
Yeah, about that. So, like I said, I was spying on the whole thing right from the get-go. They was all shouting out bids, then somebody'd win something, and bam, down comes the hammer. Head on upstairs and pay. Shouts the old ringleader, and then the whole thing starts over again. Anyhow, as soon as that happened, I had to think quick. That's when I ran behind that statue and hid. Didn't see nothing, but I heard something that made me pretty sure it was whoever placed the winning bid. The sweet, sweet sound of cold, hard cash. Anyhow, the deal was you settle your bills up here. I heard two people yabbering for a little while. Yabber, 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 on it goes for a little while, then a scream. Well, that shook me up pretty good, so I hunkered down in my hiding place and tried to stay out of sight.
You didn't try and help whoever was being attacked.
Hell no! Quit trying to be funny, girlie. It doesn't suit you none. I'm just a dainty little journalist and all on our lonesome. You think I was fixing to jump in and save the day?
Dainty.
I'll kick your ass! Anyhow, then there was a bunch of rustling sounds. Right about when that was happening, I got the feeling it was pretty bad about what I done.
That makes sense, I guess. After all, you didn't...
I didn't remember to get out my camera and snap you in a single picture. I hate myself for that. Scoop like that drops right in my lap and I miss it. Somebody ought to tan my hide. Anyhow, then a little more time goes by and there's this kind of chattering noise. I'm there thinking, gotta get the shot this time, and so I grab one real quick from in the shadows there.
Did we see this photograph?
Do I have to? Here.
That's...
So she came out of hiding? Get behind him?
the person in the red raincoat! The one who attacked Kay! So Kay's raincoated assailant also attacked the victim here in the storeroom, and proceeded up the roof where they assaulted Kay. There's blood on their hands. There's only one person in this picture. There's the victim.
Weird, huh? I wondered the same thing. Heard two people, but there was only one in the shot. And I didn't see nobody nowhere else in the room, neither.
So are we saying the victim disappeared? And the auction just carried on after that?
I sure did. They just went right along like nothing had happened. Rich folks is crazier than a box of frogs. I'll never understand how they think.
If the storeroom was the actual scene of the crime, then you'd expect the body to have been up here at some point as well. But think back to what Miss Hart told us about how the customers left the auction. You remember? Of course, they came out from downstairs, back to the storeroom and... Oh! Exactly. The killer would have had to hide the body in order to avoid its discovery. Question is, where did they hide it? Emma, if you would mind putting your skills to work for me now? I'd love to. Just say what you need and I'll get right on it. Then I'd like you to check for blood residue, a luminal test in other words. It's your thing. Prepare to witness the power of science! Never seen somebody's eyes actually sparkle with anticipation before. Spray some luminal in any place suspicious. Yep.
Oh my god,
Yep.
blood!
Mr. Edgeworth, blood! But how could it have gotten there? Maybe somebody put something with blood on it there? So that's where they hit the body, obviously. Aha! You've got a positive. There's blood here. But how come? Probably because this is where the murder was actually committed, I'd say. Oh, looks like some of it dripped through the floor below, too.
Oh, onto the statue?
Ah, that's why it's there. I think that's all the blood there is to be found. Blood in the clothes box can only mean one thing.
Murder!
That is where the body was hidden. I'm certain of it.
Now you just hold your horses there. There's no way that body could have been in there. I took a look at that box when I first got in here. Looked to be just about the perfect size for a little hide-and-go-seek if the need arose. And maybe it would have been, if I could open it. But it was wrapped in chains and locked up tight. And I ain't no escapologist. I'm not Houdini.
Wrapped in chains, locked up tight, you say? That's odd, because it doesn't look to be wrapped in chains any longer.
Huh. Well, slap my head and call me silly. Could have swore it was, though.
I think we've examined all we can now.
Shaking a leg already, are we, Miles? Okie dokie. Hey, K-Meister. Yes, Mr. Fender? We're about ready to move out, so I want you to stick with me, okay? Can't have you getting lost. Of course. I'll be sure to stay close. Oh my god. I don't think that's safe to have that many people in there.
Probably not.
What?
Mr. Edgeworth!
Ah, so this is where the elevator goes.
This room. Is this the auction room?
No, this is the committee chamber. Way to drop right into my lap, Kay Faraday. You've got real guts, I'll give you that. Arrest her, men! Arrest her right now!
Wait, but she's...
As for the rest of the riffraff, throw them out into the streets where they belong.
You can't do this! This is going way overboard!
Where'd the elevator go?
Yeah, that's a very good question.
See how the blinding light of justice shines.
You'll have to forgive me. I meant to hit a certain cowardly ex-prosecutor.
You were aiming for him! You were aiming straight at me!
Something keeps getting in my way. Something... right there. So, what are you doing here, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor?
Well, if you follow me, I can show you a storeroom with a bunch of hidden goods, probably related to your smuggling operation.
Yeah, I have a feeling Interpol would be very interested. I still believe Kay to be innocent. And we're supposed to care what you believe? You no longer have the right to an opinion. I am Franziska von Kramer, and I have no intention of stopping here or now. But you choose to stop by giving up your badge. And so our game has already come to an end. My badge was an obstacle to proceeding along the road I've chosen. I haven't stopped, I've simply cleared the way ahead. So don't you think for a second that my conviction has changed. I'm every bit as dedicated as I ever was. In that case, I demand that you show me. I'll explain my current theory first. If your road fails to lead anywhere, my whip will happily guide it.
Yay.
The victim used her keycard and entered this chamber with her killer. She was then stabbed with the candelabra by the culprit and subsequently died as a result. We know the identity of the murderer thanks to the letters she exchanged with the victim. And we know the location of the murderer. The murder is here in the committee's trial chamber. The blood on the floor of this room proves my theory. Game, set, and match. Mthis Edgeworth, QED.
Ha!
Yep.
I wonder if this is the evidence.
Objection!
Nice and easy. If I remember correctly, the blood discovered in this room was located at the foot of the Goddess of the Justice statue. Murder under the gaze of the divine. A brazen act, even for a cold-blooded killer. Except that may not be true at all. Take a look at this if you would.
And where the hell is this located? Oh, it's above us in a storeroom that has a bunch of weird goods in it. You'll be very interested to see those.
It's a blood stain we discovered in the storeroom directly above the committee chamber. As you can see, the blood we found looks to have been dripped through to the room below. And the elevator it dripped down from descends directly to the foot of the statue. Put it to you that the victim was killed in the room above and only after it was moved down here. Why is she smiling? Because she wanted this. Well done, Mthis Edgeworth. You've proven yourself to be even more foolish than I thought. Have you forgotten the picture you just showed me? Or are you really sad airheaded? Even the cursory glance shows that there was more blood here in the committee chambers than upstairs. You're trying to tell me that all of that blood dripped down from above, Mthis Edgeworth? No. If it had, your storeroom stain would be 10 times as big, because we know the stabbing happened afterwards. I say the murder happened down here. There's no way it could have happened anywhere else. It's insightful as ever, Franziska. You played right into my hands.
Oh my god, this is you here. Well, you've activated my trap card. Well, by activating your trap card, you activate my trap card.
Oh boy. You're correct. There is far less blood upstairs than one would expect. Question is, why? A trifling detail in the face of my previous explanation. Alas, your explanation doesn't account for why there was blood in the storeroom in the first place. Surely you don't think some splatter managed to shoot itself all the way up there, do you? But this explains the difference in the amounts of blood observed. The victim died of 3 stab wounds that would have bled profusely. A stab wound bleeds heaviest at one particular point in time. Oh, I know. When the weapon is removed, right? I believe the body was brought down to the committee chamber with the candelabra still in its chest. And then, when it was finally removed, it created the difference in the amount of blood we see between the 2 locations. But why would they have needed to do all this in the first place? Perhaps because a person with a face to hide would fear the storeroom being found in the investigation. If they were involved with the underground auction, they couldn't afford to have their dirty secret exposed. Underground auction? You should take a look at the storeroom for yourself. The items up there tell quite a story. It's almost endearing, Miles Edgeworth. I desperately want me to protect your friend. There's something just beneath the surface of this case. Something bigger than all of us. In case only crime was to have the bad fortune to fall right into the middle of it.
Hey, y'all mind if I butt in for a sec? You're a victim over there, the lady in the white.
You!
Hey, let a gal finish, will ya? No good butting in pain in the you-know-what. Ouch! Well, this leopard sure ain't changed her spots.
Your testimony is not required, and neither is your presence.
What do you mean? I'm a journalist. You can't... Ow!
You are a liar, is what you are. You lied on the oath that one time.
What's she called? Ringer, right? She was a member of this here committee. Well, she's dressed exactly like the ringleader of that there secret auction. Stop it! Stop whipping me, dang it!
Miss Hart here helped us out by describing how the auctioneer was dressed. It seems they were wearing the exact same outfit as the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. What's that would mean? That the victim was also the ringleader? It seems I have some new information to consider. Time for a rematch, Miles Edgeworth. Fine. I accept your little explanation. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes? In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction. And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer, and the culprit was an attendee. The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom, where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place.
Hold it!
How exactly did they manage that, may I ask? Miss Hart was in the storeroom too, remember?
Objection!
Yes, hiding someplace. And if you've seen the storeroom yourself, you know that there are plenty of other places to hide too. So you're saying the killer was hiding out of sight while they awaited the victim's arrival? I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction had concluded. After all, the victim was the auctioneer herself. She would surely have needed to be present throughout the proceedings. Would you mind adding that statement to your testimony, Francisca? Yeah, because they went straight back to it afterwards, didn't they?
Is that what Lotta said?
Yeah, they went straight back to business.
Objection!
It seems you're one step behind yet again, Francisca. The auctioneer was not in fact the victim. I can prove it. This is the statement Miss Hart gave us. Well, if she made it, it's not worth the air she used to say it.
I done told you. I'm a journalist, dang it. My word is huge.
Did I ask you to open your mouth?
Double ouch.
Calm down and listen for a second, Francisca. Miss Hart witnessed at least some of the events surrounding the murder. And she confirmed that the auction continued even after the murder had occurred.
You bet it did. Went right on like nothing had happened at all.
The victim couldn't have been the auctioneer. She was one of the attendees. No! As I've been saying since the start, there's no way Kay can be the murderer, because she had been pushed down the hatch by her assailant and not unconscious by that time. So then, who was the victim really? That's enough. Order in the courtroom. All rise for the chairman.
Oh, there's no need for all that pomp and circumstance, Verity. Please, everyone, feel free to call me Celsius. Yes, that'll do nicely. Alright, Celsius? What are you doing here? Huh. Oh, I just stopped by to see how my bone-headed boy was getting along. I thought I might need to light a fire under this investigation, but it seems not. The suspect everyone's searching high and low for is right back here where we started.
Men, detain the suspect immediately. Wait, Miss Faraday is innocent.
Shut your meddling mouth! Damn.
Damn, what a lighter.
That's a hell of a lighter. You're becoming something of a problem, Miles, my boy. I thought I told you. The committee wants this matter cleared up as soon as possible. It's a matter of trust. We can't have our organization be seen to drag its feet.
Your unlawful investigation ends here, and it will not be permitted to resume. In case you've forgotten, you are no longer a prosecutor. You have no authority here.
Can't Francisca kind of take control of things?
Yeah, Francisca, can you please do something? You're with Interpol. And what's more, there is the matter of you aiding and abetting a suspect.
She's right, of course. As always. You really are godsend, Verity.
Everything I do knowingly. You wish to prosecute me? Be my guest, but know this. You have uncovered a new suspect. This person here. Miss Faraday was attacked by this You can stop right there, Miss Edgeworth. The raincoat in your picture was discovered nearby a short while ago. Victim's blood was found on the hood, along with some cherry blossom petals. Cherry blossom petals? But the ones on the roof? Yes, they were stuck to the edges of the blood stains, probably due to the blood being fresh at the time.
The results came back already, my boy, so there's no mistaking it. The person in your picture is the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer.
What?
Miss Faraday, you testified to having encountered a person in a red raincoat on the roof, correct?
Yes, I did.
We now know that the person was the murder victim, and you're the only person we know of who came into contact with her, since one of you wound up dead. I think we all know how that encounter went.
Objection!
No, Kay was attacked by that person. She is the victim here, not the aggressor.
Overruled.
And as far as I recall, we have yet to see any evidence that proves she was attacked as you claim.
She was hospitalized!
Her wounds, her hospitalization?
What the hell is wrong with this court?
Well, you can't just jump to conclusions like that. Kay is innocent.
How many times has he said, this person's innocent, and you were against him, and then he won? But I'm not.
Kay?
I'm not innocent. I don't want to believe it, but I remembered something. Hearing about the raincoat brought it back. It's just a flash, but I remember what I saw now. Right when it happened. The murderer. It was me. No, it wasn't. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. This doesn't even make sense from any other evidence we have.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Phoenix would tear this case apart. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer.
No, you're not. You can't be.
Then what am I? Why do I have a memory like that? They were on the floor in front of me. There was a pool of blood. Why was I just standing there? Why did I do something? I know why. It's because I was the killer.
This court recognizes the legitimacy of the accused memories.
What?
Okay.
That's not how this works. You know, I thought the law was bullshit in Ace Attorney, but no, in Edgeworth it's so much worse.
Yeah, this is very bureaucratic. I commend you on your bravery, Miss Faraday. You will not go unrewarded. As an official representative of Interpol, I hereby request that this suspect be...
Overruled.
Interpol should have authority for this.
We don't have time for this. We must arrest Kay Faraday this instant.
Yeah, Interpol should have a authority to do this.
How dare you take that zone with me?
You say my investigation is unlawful. What could be more unlawful than this?
Unfortunately, you no longer speak for the law. Speaking of the law, seems there is one order we must arrest.
Ah, yes, I almost forgot. Miles.
You went too far this time, Mr. Edgeworth. You conducted an unlawful investigation. Worse, you aided and abetted the flight of a suspect. You are no longer even an ex-prosecutor. You are a criminal. Nothing more.
Oh, that reminds me. There was supposed to be a hearing today, wasn't there? Concerning your conduct. I'll make sure it's officially rescheduled for tomorrow. Although, I fear I already know the outcome.
This court is adjourned.
Therefore, I spent another night in here again, and they stripped me of all evidence we'd painstakingly gathered. Even if they did let me keep Kay's Yatsugarasu pin,
It doubles as a lockpick.
I can't help but worry about her. They better be treating her well.
Come on, let's go. You've got a visitor.
A visitor? Who?
Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Want me to send him away?
Of course it's Gumshoe. No, though I'm not sure what to even say to him. They're leaving me unsupervised. Forgive the intrusion. Judge Gavel!
Please, Miss Edgeworth.
Take a seat. What are you doing here? I was told it was this Detective Gumshoe.
You're also not sitting down, Edgeworth, I can tell.
I imagined you wouldn't come if you knew it was me. What could she possibly want from me now? Let's cut to the chase, Your Honor. Why are you really here?
I'm here simply to talk. Nothing more. There's something I wish to know about you. Objectively speaking, you are highly intelligent and quick-witted, and a born prosecutor at that.
Please, Judge Gavel, your sarcastic praise is what's salt on my wounds.
But I sincerely mean every word, Mr. Edgeworth. It is why I fail to understand you. You were up against the very committee itself. You had no hope of succeeding.
I don't imagine the old me would have ever been so reckless. The old me had power, and because of that I thought that justice was always on my side. Just as you and the committee believe now. So that I was only able to be an effective prosecutor thanks to the efforts of those around me. It changed me. To a degree to which it changed me still surprises me to this day.
I see. Thank you. Yet perhaps I understand you a little better now.
You understand me? I highly doubt it. Someone who is so focused on forcing the idea of justice onto others can't possibly see what I see.
Is that so? Is that what you truly believe? I will say one thing. This has been a very interesting conversation. That is all.
What are you planning?
I was asked to inform you that the date of your hearing has been confirmed. It'll be held today, in the trial chamber. The committee sends its warmest regards. If that was all you had to tell me, you could have just sent a message. And entrust the goddess's words to another? That wouldn't do now, would it? She's totally on our side, I think. Until then, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll see you again very shortly. I barely spend any time in here, and I already can feel my personal appearance slipping. I may have given up my badge, but I mustn't give up on myself. A collar? It's slightly creased. There. A tidy outside begets a tidy inside. We'll have another visitor.
Well.
Kay!
Oh,
Thank goodness you seem alright. That's a load off my mind.
such a hot warming scene. It's enough to make a grown man cry.
But you're still not your usual cheery... you have to stay positive, Kay. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I guarantee you didn't.
No, you have to let it go. I'm the murderer. I know that now.
But you're not. You can't be. Why don't you have any faith in yourself?
How can I, Mr. Edgeworth, when there is no me left to believe in?
Don't believe in yourself. Huh? Believe in me. Believe in the commie who believes in you.
Well then, my boy, I suppose I should be...
Wait.
Mine, chess!
Why is the chairman so intent on seeing Kay charged with this murder? It doesn't make any sense. There must be some rhyme or reason to this madness.
Oh my god!
Holy shit!
Come now, Miles. I'm a busy, important man. I can't be wasting my precious time talking to you.
I'm getting answers, if it's the last thing I do. Why were you so keen to push through Kay's arrest? I've yet to hear a satisfactory explanation.
An explanation? I'm not entirely sure what you mean.
Don't give me that. You know exactly what I mean.
Tut, tut. I advise you to moderate your tone, dear boy. Need I remind you of your position? I will incinerate you! And suppose we did let your friend go free. What then, Think how that would look, my boy. And who would have to take the blame? Me, that's who. You're right to keep your mouth shut. That way you won't say anything foolish.
Sorry, but I can't stay silent forever. Not while Kay's innocence is still in doubt.
You're breaking my heart. Just look at this flood of tears. Spilling out. Please, just leave it alone, will you? Things were coming along nicely until you interfered.
Coming along nicely? That's a pretty strange way of putting it. It's almost as if you wanted Kay's arrest to happen. It certainly doesn't sound like a statement of an impartial representative of the law.
Damn. That was easy. Has it occurred to you that you might just be overthinking things a little?
Next we'll need to press him on whether he really believes the investigation was sufficient.
It was sufficient enough to arrest Kay.
You can hardly say your investigation was sufficient. And you're the one who called all the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as influential as you think, dear boy.
You're the chairman of the committee. He doesn't get that much more influential than that.
Well, if you're going to insist on being so blunt, I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutor's badge again anytime soon.
Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge isn't the be-all and end-all for me. Far from it. I'm not concerned with the titles or roles. Even you must understand that much.
A word of advice, Miles, from somebody who's been around the block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy. Idiotically so.
How much time I spent on your investigation altogether?
My, you really don't give up, do you? But even my patience has its limits, you know.
What a coincidence, so does mine. Now answer the question. Do you believe that your investigation was sufficient or not?
The youth these days are wont to be reckless. Makes me want to put you in your place. Well, maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter? Scared? Ho.
Hardly. I was just thinking about how best to proceed. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. They can get quite emotional after all.
You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? Don't you understand? Your fate rests in my hands. Let's say you do manage to get some answers from me. There's nothing you can do with them, so when I give up, dear boy.
No.
Interesting. I think I'm beginning to see what makes you tick. But what you're doing is pointless. Tragically and miserably pointless. Please, just give up. She's guilty. The decision has been made.
It's almost as if Kay's guilt had already been determined from before her arrest.
What are you trying to imply?
I'm implying that things haven't gone as they normally should. In fact, everything has proceeded as if Kay's arrest was the end goal, right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it?
That's certainly an intriguing theory, but it's also a complete work of fiction, and I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. I think it's time we brought this shabby little farce to an end, don't you?
No, he's trying to make his escape! Wait, we're not done yet.
I'm tired of all this talking, so make it brief, will you?
Based on everything I've heard from you so far, it's clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded.
Yes, I think we're all familiar with this particular refrain of yours by now. But I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't have what it takes to secure a release anyhow.
How dare you take this so lightly as a man of the law?
But my fuse is only so long. Honestly speaking, I don't have time to waste on every last question you can dream up. I have certain responsibilities to attend to, you know. I really am quite the busy man.
Or are you just pretending to be busy?
That's an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I work harder than I should at my age. I ask you, my boy, what can I even hope to accomplish by putting up such a pretense?
You obviously don't want to talk about the case anymore. That's why you're so keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it?
It's just so tragic. It really is. That you would suspect me of such things.
It's not a suspicion, it's a certainty. There were no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrest for a start.
Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There were plenty of evidence to support our case. The mask, the letter, the corsage, these were all in her possession. And, of course, her confession. What's the matter? Struggling to come up with a way to explain everything away? Well, there we have it. Your silence speaks volumes.
It's true I can't counter your argument right now, but you did let something valuable slip. A suspiciously detailed knowledge of the evidence against Kay. Who gave the order? Who decided that Kay should be arrested?
You know, I can't seem to remember. Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It wreaks havoc on the memory.
I'd appreciate it if you'd stop playing the old man card. You remember the details of the evidence against Kay pretty clearly. Perhaps if your memory didn't fail you only when it was convenient, I'd be more inclined to believe you. So let me ask you again, who gave the order for Kay's arrest?
The arrest, you say? I believe the order was given by...
Come on now, Chairman Winner. We both know it was you.
Alright, you got me. You make it sound like it was somehow a bad thing, though. But I have a reputation to uphold, so I guess I'd better clear up this little misunderstanding. I'll entertain your questions for a few more minutes. Let's see if I can't put your mind at ease.
You seem to know the case in quite some detail.
I know about lots of things, my boy. I'm just smart like that.
Too bad the same can't be said about the way you handled Kay's arrest.
Where'd you get all this paper? I'm a very busy man. Do try to remember that I can bring this little chat to an end whenever I choose.
If only you'd stop giving me the runaround, we'd be done already. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of the case quite intimately. Why is that?
Because I read the case file. Not exactly the most thrilling use of my time, of course, but it's part of the job. But I had some time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from cover to cover.
That's strange. I could have sworn you just told me you were a very busy man. I'd say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? If you're so keen on being an upstanding leader, you can start by releasing Kay, you know?
You really don't give up, do you? It's a moving sight indeed, my boy. I'm afraid your little friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime.
We have yet to hear much about the circumstances under which Kay was found. She was lying unconscious in the storeroom, correct?
That's right, although I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that.
He knows things that even we didn't. The suspect, Kay Faraday, how much do you know about her exactly?
I know that she's the suspect. Aside from that, not much else.
Sorry, but the more you tell me, the less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know the details that even those investigating the scene were not aware of. Why is that? Just how much do you really know, Chairman Winner?
Oh, there's that intimidating face you like to make again. Well, two can play this game. How do you like me now, I do have to commend you on your doggedness. It really is something. She's the culprit, the only possible suspect. Just accept that already. How much more evidence did you want us to load her down with, for goodness sake?
Did you just say load us down with? Load her down with? Load her down with? You know, no interesting turn of phrase. One that makes it sound a lot like the items Kay was carrying might have been foisted upon her.
You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you a prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I want to hear it from you.
Kay is innocent.
No, my boy. That's just clumsy. Anyone can bloat out a baseless assertion like that. Even a disgraced superstar prosecutor.
Kay was framed. Two culprits set it all up so she would take the fall instead. That is my answer, and I won't let you deny it any longer.
Oh, my beard!
Ah, that's why he has the glasses.
Yeah, puts out the fire on. He sets some beard on it, I guess. My, you really are a sharp one. I admit it, you're right on all accounts.
And that's checkmate. You knew Kay wasn't the real murderer, and yet you still had her arrested.
Well, my boy, I'm evil.
What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't, not if I can help it.
There you go with that naivete again, my boy. I guess that was always your problem. With the girl arrested and a conviction secured, this whole mess goes away, and that's what will happen. You insist that the truth is more important than anything else. But would you say the same if you knew what the real value of the truth is?
What are you trying to say?
When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth. You make it, little by little. Hey, Faraday, murderer. That's the truth. The truth I created.
Yeah.
Yes, my boy. That's what I like to see. Knowing the real truth will get you nowhere, because that's how much it's worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know. You understand what I'm saying, don't you, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I have all the power here. And members, over a majority are present. I hereby call this hearing to order. We are gathered here today to assess the professional competency of Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, even though he quit the job. Verity, if you would be so kind as to summarize the case against Mr. Edgeworth.
On April 5th, despite having been advised of the illegality of an investigation he was conducting, the accused refused to desist and eventually had to be detained by myself and Chairman Winner. This action compromised the investigation into the murder of a certain defense attorney, and despite having been presented with copious evidence of her guilt, he continues to insist that the suspect, one Kay Faraday, is innocent of all charges.
All right, Miles, I expect you have some objections. Let's get them out of the way, shall we?
I have no objections, Chairman Winner. No objections in the matter of my unauthorized investigation, that is. But in the matter of Miss Faraday's supposed guilt, I have plenty.
You know, Miles, it's within my power to offer you a plea deal of sorts. If, and this is a purely hypothetical of course, you were to withdraw your objections, you might wake up tomorrow to find yourself the proud owner of a seat on this committee.
Is it trying to bribe us?
Purely hypothetically, of course. So I ask you again, do you have any objections, Mr. Edgeworth?
If you think you can buy my silence, think again. You watch your mouth. I didn't come here to talk about committee seats. I came here to talk about the murder case. I demand a statement under oath, and I won't rest until I have one. I want to know exactly what the committee's view on the incident is.
You want to put us on trial, my boy? Very well, if it will make you happy. Verity, please provide Mr. Edgeworth with the materials pertaining to the case.
Okay. Miss Ringer attended the auction as a potential buyer. The red raincoat was one of the items up for sale, so our assumption is that after winning and paying for it, she left the auction with her purchase. The only exit from the storeroom was, of course, the hatch leading up onto the roof. After she'd emerged onto the viewing platform, that's when Miss Ringer was attacked by Miss Faraday.
Hold it!
But why? What possible motive could Kay have had? That is exactly what we are hoping to establish in our upcoming interviews with Miss Faraday. Coercive interrogation after the fact. Something you seem to specialize in. If the murderer knew that the attendees would all be leaving via the hatch, then the roof would have been the perfect place to lie in wait, because they have blood on their hands.
True. That means there was an attack in here then, not up top.
Objection!
Maybe you can clear something up for me, Judge Givell. But what is Miss Hart doing here at this hearing? She's an eyewitness. I thought it would be obvious.
Well now, I ain't really an eyewitness, more than a ear witness, I guess.
It's not exactly the most confidence-inspiring choice to help you make your case, is she? I like to think I choose my allies a little more carefully than you, Mr. Edgeworth. Then you should question them more thoroughly, because there's something she hasn't told you. Take a look at this. It's a photo done by Miss Hart. According to your theory, the murder occurred up on the roof. According to Miss Hart's testimony, she happened to witness the entire incident unfold in the storeroom just before she took this picture.
Wait, you're saying Gavelle got it?
Wrong. That's exactly what I'm saying.
What?
Miss Hart, if I may confirm your account of the events you witnessed that night, and what were your impressions at that point?
My impressions? This right here is a scoop a century. Something like that? Yeah, that makes sense.
I was hoping more for your impressions of the person in question.
Oh, that there's a walking meal ticket?
Seriously?
Old red raincoat, right? Why, I took one look and I thought, that's all purple right there.
And therein lies the rub. For Miss Hart to have thought such a thing means that the murder occurred.
Overruled.
Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, when will you learn to use your words? If it's an explanation of the facts that you require, you don't only ask, you know. I assume you're about to raise the issue of the voices Miss Hart heard. Voices that may be unrelated? Unrelated? You can do better than that. Was one of the voices Miss Hart heard really even Miss Ringer's?
You're kidding me, right? Them folks was talking crime-related turkey. My name ain't Lotta Danged Hart.
Ah, but did you hear them clearly?
Well, can't rightly say for sure, but... Yeah, I can't rightly say nothing and you know it. They were using voice changers. I done told y'all that.
Which means we cannot even be certain that whatever she did over here had anything to do with the murder.
Objection!
It seems I overestimated you, Judge Givell. The incident happened before the victim was able to go up to the roof. That much we can say for certain. We initially thought that the person in the red raincoat was the culprit.
Yes, because Miss Hart said as much.
Indeed, she told us about the blood she saw in this person's hand. And how many people would have thought differently given her testimony. Go, if this person is the killer, then the blood we see would be from when they attacked the victim. But knowing that what we know now, that this person is in fact the victim, recontextualizes everything. The presence of the blood still shows that the picture was taken after the attack. But now it tells us something very important about the victim too. That Miss Ringer survived the attack. The blood on her hand is from the wounds she had sustained.
What are you talking about? Who dies from a hand wound?
The wound wasn't on her hand, Mr. Winner. I imagine she had used her hand to try and staunch her wound. That's right. While it's impossible to tell from this angle, the victim was already mortally wounded here.
Oh, well, that certainly would change things, wouldn't it?
It very much would, not least by making it absurd to suggest that Kay was the attacker. Her encounter with the victim happened after this picture had been taken. I put it to you that all Kay witnessed was the victim finally succumbing to her wounds. That would have been quite the coincidence. You seem to be forgetting a rather important fact, Mr. Edgeworth. Miss Ringer's body was found with 3 wounds in her chest. And we all know what those wounds are from, don't we? That's right, they are from when she was stabbed in the chest by a 3-armed candelabrum.
Hold it!
And you're sure the stabs to the chest were the cause of death? There's no doubt about that. None. One of the spikes of the candelabrum even pierced the victim's heart. Oh, God! And unless you mean to call Dr. Hurt's professional opinion into question, we'd only treat that as fact.
The coroner's opinion backing up my own winning ones. Now that's what I call a flawless victory.
Well, I'm certainly not about to ignore the coroner's findings.
Hey, what about my findings? You can't just ignore them.
If the cause of death really was the puncture wounds to the chest from the candelabrum, that would contradict one of the pieces of evidence we've gathered.
He's not just ignoring my findings, he's ignoring me! Do something, Gavelle! There's no holes in that thing, right? You can't see them? So if she was wearing the coat, there should be holes in it, right?
Yeah, there should be holes in it.
Objection!
Oh cool, the music stopped. I love when that happens.
Chairman Winner, you know what this is, of course.
The red raincoat, that's right, isn't it, Verity?
Yes, sir, the one Miss Ringer was wearing. You told us that the victim's bloodstains were found on the coat. But do you remember where exactly they were found? Of course, they were found on the hood and... No! The hood and... Was blood found anywhere else on the raincoat? No, it was not.
That's not where I was going with this, but cool!
Yeah, this works.
I love when we accidentally figure it out without realizing it, with a whole different thought process.
Yeah, I know, right? Doesn't that strike you as odd? The victim died of stab wounds to the chest. Wouldn't that lead to one to expect to find bloodstains in that area? And yet, there was blood only on the hood. The head wound to the victim suffered was just some incidental injury. It was inflicted before the stab wounds to her chest. Perhaps you're correct. Perhaps the victim did sustain the head injury first. Even if we concede to this point, the head injury came before the chest wound. What difference does it make? How does it change our understanding of the case? I'd say it changes things a great deal. But it raises an even more fundamental contradiction. Perhaps you could show us this fundamental contradiction? With some evidence?
So would this be the coroner's report? Because it did say post-mortem head injury.
Take that!
This is Dr. Hurt's preliminary findings, according to which the victim suffered a head injury post-mortem. But the order suggested by the bloodstains on the raincoat is... Bailiff, this court hereby subpoenas Dr. Hilda Hurts to the Commitee Chamber with all due haste. Until he testifies, this case cannot be brought to a close.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll go fetch her at once.
In the meantime, there is another important angle I would like to explore. Frankly, something has been bothering me about the person at the heart of this case. The so-called ringleader. Who exactly are they?
Yeah, good point. We never looked into that, huh?
Well, Miss Edgeworth, do you have any thoughts on the matter? We've seen nothing that might serve as a clear evidence of the auctioneer's identity as of yet. But there is someone involved with the case that I can name. I suspect that at the very least they might be able to point us in the right direction. Chairman Winner, I demand that you testify as to what you know.
What?
You would cast doubt on the integrity of the chairman of the committee?
If he gets his way, I go to prison. So this is kind of no other choice.
Yeah. I don't care who or what he is. We're talking about the truth here. And about a man who seems dead set on framing Kay at all costs. The items Kay was carrying when she was found, they were deliberately placed in her possession somehow. By Chairman Winner himself. A shocking accusation. And one I find hard to believe. But for the sake of completeness, I must ask, why would he do such a thing?
Why would Kay do such a thing?
Cast suspicion on Kay, of course. Why else? I even managed to get him to say something to that effect.
You say you got me to admit as much. But where's your proof,
I am going to have to ask you to explain yourself. If that's alright, Mr. Chairman.
Not at all. I'll be very interested to hear this for myself. I'm intrigued to learn where Miles might have gotten the idea that I'm some sort of criminal. Because you're evil!
Very well, let's start at the very beginning. The fact that the auction took place right here in this hallowed trial chamber is a point of suspicion. Location that should, by rights, only be accessible to members of the committee.
Yeah, they all have key cards to the room after all.
Furthermore, these auctions seem to be held on a somewhat regular basis. And for that to be possible...
There can only be one winning explanation!
That's right, Mr. Winner. The auctioneer is a member of the committee.
What? No! What do I do, Dad? I played right into his hands! Oh, you did indeed, you utter nitwit. But Miles, my boy, you do realize that you've cast quite the wide net with your explanation.
That's true. There are 11 members of the committee altogether. 10 given Miss Ringer's unfortunate passing. 10 potential suspects in total.
Certainly isn't me.
And it can't be the chairman, can it?
Whoever speak up right now.
It's the chairman! Calm down, all of you, please! Before I set you on fire. Well, Miles, is that all the proof you've got against me? Ha, you're very quiet all of a sudden. But it's too late to back out now. You accused a former chief prosecutor and current committee chairman of a crime. I would tell you to prepare for the worst. But there's no preparing for what you're about to face. Know your place. You've been forcing us to argue over every little detail for a while now. Where the murder happened, the order of the victim's injury, some other things I hardly even remember. You know what? Screw it. He has a million different voices. He is a winner. No winner has one voice. But you needn't have bothered, my boy. Because it's all irrelevant in the end. Think about it. The suspect herself had already said she did it.
Hold it!
Just because she confessed to something doesn't make it the truth. She is suffering from amnesia, so any statement she makes should be taken with at least a grain of salt.
Objection!
Whoa! That voice, holy shit!
Is that how he sounds?
Apparently. So it was like, objection! I'm Batman! That makes him a villain for sure. He has too good of a voice.
Oh yeah.
Even so, it doesn't exactly solve anything for us, does it, dear boy? I tell you what, why don't we ask her one last time? Though I'm sure she'll just say she did it again.
Fine, let's do it. Let's ask her again. We'll see if she really believes herself to be the culprit.
Ask away. On one condition. If this turns out to be a waste of time, that's it. I burn you alive. We'll call the proceedings to an end, then and there. Agreed? Now, just so we're clear, if we ask again, and all that happens is the girl confirms her guilt, she is officially declared guilty on the spot.
Okay?
Yes?
I know it's a lot to ask, but I need you to think. Do you remember anything else about what happened on the day of the murder? Anything that might help us prove your innocence?
Why? Why are you still fighting it, Mr. Edgeworth? It's no use. It can't be of help to you. I'm sorry. What if I remember something even worse? Like committing tax fraud.
Oh, yeah, tax fraud. Oh, no.
If I did, I'd just be making more trouble for you. Please, just accept it. The K you thought you knew is a dangerous criminal. No, the K we know is not a dangerous criminal, I assure you.
Don't worry, Kay. You have nothing to be afraid of. I may not have known you for very long, but I know you well enough. You would never commit a murder. You could never. Because this is who you really are. The Yatagarasu pin!
Take that!
You are the great thief Yatagarasu.
You need more energy with that, Edgeworth.
And a noble outlaw who would never stoop so low as to kill.
I can't do it. I'm sorry. Because all I can see is the one memory that's returned. I have to face it.
No, the only evidence of your guilt is the confession they forced out of you. As I said earlier, you have to believe that you are better than that. Or are you saying you don't believe a word of what I've been telling you?
You're trying so hard to help me. And you're risking so much for me.
Ah, so that's what's going on. The reason you're allowing yourself to be railroaded into accepting your fate is because of me, isn't it? It's exactly what the K I know would have done.
You're a good person, Mr. Edgeworth.
Sorry to burst your bubble, but I'm not. And I don't plan on becoming one anytime soon. I'm merely been servicing my own ego, regardless of what I put you through. Oh shit. He's starting to get around. Now, let's try this again. See the good in yourself, Kay. Remember the noble thief you truly are. That memory of you committing the murder, you need to question it with all you have. Hey! What's wrong? Did you remember something?
A cow!
Well, Kay, what can you tell us about this cow?
I remember now! The person in the red raincoat! She had in her hand! A stuffed cow! I can see it so clearly now! Yes!
Are you sure, Miss Faraday? Are you absolutely certain?
Yes, I'm sure!
Then this court acknowledges the defendant's latest statements as new testimony.
I love his voice. Have you lost your mind, Verity? We can't accept testimony like this. But you can accept a confession from an amnesiac?
She is so playing this. I like the Verity's actually doing this. She's actually being really smart. With all due respect, Mr. Chairman, information pertaining to the victim and her possession is new and highly relevant evidence.
Objection.
Need I remind you of the adult state of her memory? No, this simply won't do.
But then your confession doesn't matter either.
Yeah, because that's an addled stat of her memory.
Yes, addled? But if you claim her memory is unreliable now, then our own argument is weakened, sir. You said yourself only a few minutes ago that thanks to the suspect's confession, we need not worry ourselves over the finer details, did you not? Were we to call the validity of her memories into question, then we must also call into question the confession on which our entire argument is based.
Yes, you're right. Proceed as you see fit, then.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, the stuffed animal? I believe the cow in question is this thing here, Your Honor. We found it in the storeroom and believe it is yet another auction lot.
The left horn is missing.
Looks like that's where the horn would have gone.
But that doesn't look like stuffing in there. So what is it?
Let's take a look at the rest of this toy and see what else we can find. The right horn seems intact, but I can't say it's doing much for the overall symmetry of this stuffed toy.
Look, Mr. Edgeworth, it moves.
It does.
It sounds like sand being crushed.
It was there's a recording device sitting inside. Oh shit, it's taking a picture. Oh, recording.
Is sand... Is this supposed to be Winner or K or who?
I suspect it's Winner. this be? The moment of the murder?
And someone made a recording of it. And they had a prominent burn. Hey, that's them right there. Them's the voices I heard. Sure as eggs is eggs.
Unfortunately, we have no way of verifying when these voices were recorded. It's possible they have nothing to do with the murder. If only there was some accompanying video footage.
You got bugs in your ears or something, lady? I done told ya, them's the voices I heard. And we already know the victim was holding that thing, right? So it's gotta be from when she got it. When she got. What?
Yeah,
I hate how to speak. I both love and hate how to speak as Lana.
Yeah, it's just so southern, you know? We need something more. Something credible. I believe we have something that could explain what these words are referring to and how it's all related.
Take that!
The coroner's preliminary findings? How do they prove anything? Think again on the words we heard. This part in particular sticks out in my mind. You can't hide that burn from me. The victim had a prominent burn mark on the back of her right hand.
And what of it?
According to case testimony, the victim was carrying the stuffed cow toy. And a burn mark, an identifying mark unique to the victim, was mentioned on the recording it captured.
Ha! It's just a coincidence. Stuff like that happens all the time, right?
I'm not so sure that it does, especially not in this case. The court accepts that the recording may be from the time of the murder.
But that still doesn't tell us anything about the killer's true identity, or even if they're male or female.
One thing, however, has become clear. We are now able to say that the voices Miss Hart heard were those of Miss Ringer and her killer. We can say something else now too. According to Miss Hart, just before the murder occurred, two people came up to the storeroom from the committee's chamber on the elevator. The ringleader and one of the auction attendees. It seems that this was the point at which money exchanged hands. The murder happened immediately afterward, and the auction carried on after that. Since the ringleader was the auction's sole auctioneer, then it follows that they cannot be the victim. And if they weren't the victim, then they can only have been the killer. There were certain traces left on the scene that seemed to suggest that the ringleader was the killer. The killer deliberately left a large pool of blood at the foot of the Goddess of Justice's statue. It was due to that blood that we originally thought the murder had happened in this chamber, but it was simply a ruse, designed to cover up the blood that had dripped down from the storeroom, in order to conceal the existence of the underground auction, correct? Correct. If the culprit had nothing to do with the auction, they would have had no reason to cover up that blood, which further supports the theory that the ringleader and the killer were the one and the same. And as to the identity of the ringleader, do you have anyone you'd like to name? The auction is always held in this committee chamber, with a storeroom located just overhead. So at the very least, we know the murderous ringleader has some connection to the committee.
Yes. And you suspect me, correct?
As the committee's most powerful member, that should hardly be a surprise, right?
You've got nothing, dear boy, have you? No evidence whatsoever. Unless you've got something to share after all.
Gah.
I don't think we have anything.
We'll have any evidence to show that Chairman Winner is the murderer. We don't. Chairman Winner himself will brought up the fact that I suspected him. And he seemed confident right now from the get-go that he's untouchable. Which means he knows I have nothing.
Verity, he's all yours. Wait, dang it! I just remembered something! Yay, Lana, save the day!
Okay, yeah, sure. What did you
This is
remember?
like Larry saving the day. It's kind of iffy if we like this or not. Huh? Did you have amnesia too? No, it just done came to me. Flash of inspiration. You know how it is.
Very well, say your piece.
Also, Gavel, didn't you say earlier until the whole victim's body thingamabobbers is solved, you can't make her guilty? So, the ringleader's the killer, right? Which makes the victim one of them auction goers. Thing is, that don't add up. I counted 11 people coming down that hatch, see? Then the murder happened, and then the auction started back up again. Now, I had me a look back downstairs right after that. And wouldn't you know it, there were 11 little duckies all lined up in a row again.
How? And you're sure of this, Miss Hart?
Sure as sure can be, your gavel ship. Saw with my own 2 papers. So, 11 before the murder, and 11 again right after that means. Wait, that's a thingy! A contradiction, Eustace. Do try to keep up.
Miss Hart, nothing really changed at all?
I done told you already. They carried right out again like nothing even happened. Oh, set 4. It wasn't nothing much, but that little mallet doodad. Can't have yourself an auction with that one. Kind of like the one Missy get over there in Scott, but different. I done heard that thing banging and clanging right the way through. Then nothing. Just like that.
So the noise of the hammer stopped midway through. Would that have something to do with the murder? If what Miss Hart is telling us is true, there's something of a problem. Namely, that if the victim is neither the auctioneer nor one of the attendees, your entire theory cannot stand, Mr. Edgeworth. I worry that it might still be a little too early to pass judgment. After all, we have one more matter yet to resolve.
Very well. Let's get this over with, shall we? What is this one matter that still remains?
Why, the contradiction in the coroner's report, sir.
That's,
What's this all about? Why do you all call us all back down here? Did somebody suddenly fall ill? I'll have to compress it ready in 2 shakes of ouch! This better be good. Did somebody else drop dead? Well, I might soon wish they had. Let me assure you, this won't take long. Quit trying to butter me up and cut me to the chase, will ya? Dr. Hertz, this court asks that you provide the unabridged truth regarding the following. Do you stand by your preliminary findings? Can you vouch for their complete and total accuracy? Rabbit doesn't make mistakes, ever! In the course of this trial, an error was indeed found in her report. And so I ask again for the truth, Dr. Hertz. Did you alter, tamper with, or in any way falsify your findings? What are you asking me for? Why the heck would I want to do that? To help the true culprit, of course. As if I know anything about all that. I just know I didn't do anything of the sort. What other explanation could there be for the discrepancy in your report? If everything was recorded accurately and then handed off to Mr. Winner according to protocol, then the report shouldn't contain any mistakes.
Wait. For the record, I didn't do anything to the report.
Dr. Hertz, perhaps we can begin with your side of the story? Why do we even need to? This is pointless. We have patients waiting in the back of the hospital. But Grandma, ouch! We really don't have time for this. Won't you please help us? I can't stress how important this is. Grandma says she'll testify. We'll let you go as soon as we can, I promise. No, wait, that's a mistake in Grandma's report. Not never. I've been dealing with the dead longer than you've been alive, Sonny Jim. Me writing something wrong is about all like this. Ouch!
Hold it!
The victim appears to have put this raincoat on after sustaining a head injury. And yet, there was not a single drop of her blood in the chest area of the raincoat. Therefore, she must have been hit in the head before she was stabbed in the chest, making it pre-mortem. Oh, that's... Ouch! I don't need you to teach me how to suck eggs, young man. My dang report already says what you just said, didn't it?
Objection!
Your report says that the head injury appears to have been sustained post-mortem, which is the exact opposite of what I just said. I diligently dictated the report to Florence here, and she wrote it all down just like I said it. If something happened to it after that, it had nothing to do with me. The nurse screwed up. You dictated it. You could please tell me more?
Then that would mean that the nurse either accidentally or deliberately changed it.
Yes.
Objection!
Dr. Hertz, I'd like you to take a look at the report for yourself. How are we into... Ouch!
Beat her some more. She probably deserves it.
This ain't what I said. This ain't what I said at all. What? What do you mean exactly? I don't know, but I can't say that.
We'll keep beating you until you say it.
Miss Needler, if you are tending to bury Dr. Hertz's truth, I will gladly hear her confession myself on behalf of the goddess of justice. Dr. Hertz seems to be telling Judge Givell something in private. Ain't no doubt about what I said. I dictated my findings to Florence just like I told you I did. The fuddle-headed young thing must have wrote it down wrong or something.
Wow, that was a great impression.
Yes, but was it really necessary?
Look, Judge Givell needs to have fun sometimes.
So in summary, there's an error in the report. It was all because of you, Nurse Needler. The true facts have now been shown to be that the head injury occurred prior to the chest wound. The question now, Miss Needler, is why did you introduce such an error?
Just a minute, Verity. You make it sound as if the poor girl did it deliberately. 11 were together. Didn't it mention it was all 11 before and after?
Yeah. Did she take the spot?
Whereas it seems to me she just made a little mistake. Pre-mortem, post-mortem, they're practically the same word, don't you think?
Except they mean two completely opposite things. This was deliberate, no doubt about it.
But why would she want to change it?
Exactly, thanks, Ouch! You won't get away with that easy. Explain yourself, young lady. But I can't tell you. Not don't want to, but can't. Nurse Needler doctored the report in order to cover for her accomplice. Ouch!
Oh, so she's a co-conspirator. This innocent young thing. Do share your grounds for making such a wild accusation, dear boy.
If the auctioneer was the murderer and the victim was one of the attendees, the fact that their witness testified to there being 11 attendees even after the murder doesn't make sense.
Hey, watch it! Y'all gotta call my good word into question now, too?
That's not what I meant.
It better not have been.
In fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm taking you at your word, which means there must be a co-conspirator. If the killer's accomplice returned to the auction room in place of the victim, There would have indeed been 11 attendees both before and after the murder.
Well, well. So that's your thinking, is it? It's certainly an intriguing theory. But surely the imposter would have been spotted right away.
I don't imagine that Nurse Needler looks strikingly different from the victim in build and stature. With the help of the masks, you could very easily have replaced Miss Ringer without anybody noticing. Well, Nurse Needler, is that what happened? Did you take the victim's place at the auction? I can't tell you. I just can't. It's her grandma too. Don't you worry about me. I can take it. You just tell me everything, child. What? Grandma! So I was right. She was an accomplice.
Miss Needler, why?
Well, Miss Needler, can you explain yourself? I confess it. I attend places with Miss Ringer. I don't know how, but they found out Miss Ringer was going to attack them. They seemed pretty sure it was going to happen at that night, so they made a counter plan. They wanted to strike first, and they wanted me to help them. I was told to go to the storeroom before the auction began and wait there.
Now hold on right there, Missy. I didn't see nothing, and my eyes don't lie. If you'd have been there from before the auction, I would have bumped right into you. I was there the whole way through, and you weren't there for a bit of it.
But I'm not lying. I think we're all well aware that the number of potential hiding places in that storeroom.
Oh, where exactly are you trying to say our friend the nurse was hiding,
She hid inside this clothes box.
Oh, she did she? Huh, well it was there the whole time. Even before I moseyed on in. But like I done told y'all, it had all them chains around it. Wanted to hide in there myself, really, but it was locked up tight. So I had to go elsewhere.
I imagine that's because Nurse Needler was already lying in there by the time you arrived. That's right, we didn't want anybody to open it or it would have blown our cover. So the ringleader told me to climb in and wait until it was time for my part of the plan. And then they wrapped the whole box up in chains. It was just before the auction was due to start. The auction proceeded as it always did, until a certain customer came upstairs to complete her purchase. That was when the incident occurred. Miss Hart overheard the victim and the culprit exchanging words around them. In the middle of their quarrel, Miss Ringer was killed by the auctioneer.
I gasp!
I imagine that the auctioneer then carried Miss Ringer's body over to the clothes box, from which Nurse Needler emerged and swapped places with the victim. After placing Miss Ringer's body inside the box, Nurse Needler's role now was to pretend to be Miss Ringer. The two of them then returned to the room below as if nothing had happened. That's exactly what happened.
Hold up! So you just waltzed right back on in and nobody noticed? This is two completely different people we're talking about. You're telling me not one of the other folks down there at the auction conned on?
As we've seen, Miss Ringer and Nurse Needler are about the same builds. What's more, the auction rules required attendees to wear their masks at all times. If Nurse Needler were wearing the same clothes as Miss Ringer, nobody would have been any the wiser. Yeah, I guess that works too. I brought Miss Ringer's clothes and ouch! And left the poor child in a smalls? Have you no respect, girl? No, Grandma, I thought the same thing. It wouldn't be nice to leave her like that. So when the ringleader wasn't looking, I put that raincoat on her.
Guess that part where I caught the red raincoat on film came just after. Right after that was when I went over and looked downstairs through the gap in the elevator. Spied me 11 happy little auction goers, then back I snuck to my little hidey hole.
Don't tell me you were hiding back there the entire time after that.
So maybe I ought to have mentioned this before, but I fell asleep for a few winks after that. Well, passed out. Unconscious, you might say.
What? What happened?
There was a sudden loud noise, and it startled me just a little bit, you know. Alright, maybe more than a little, but I just witnessed a murder. Can't blame a girl for getting jumpy. Guess that got my heart shook and my head faint. Before I knew it, I was out like a light. By the time I came to, it was the next dang day, and there y'all were clanking down the ladder.
Nurse Needler, once the auction had restarted, what exactly were you doing? I was pretending to be Miss Ringer and placing bids, just as the ringleader wanted. I had to win the clothes box, as I'd been instructed. It had a dead body inside after all. Imagine if somebody else had won it, we would have been in real trouble then. So you had no idea that the victim had vacated the box in the meantime? No, not until we came back up so I could pay for it. That was when we noticed. The ringleader told me to go look for her right away. Except I found some other girl collapsed on the foot of the ladder instead. Hey!
Guess the victim must have left the hatch wide open, huh?
Kay would have been so shocked by seeing Miss Ringers fall motionless right in front of her that she wouldn't have seen the open hatch and fallen right through it. That explains the noise that caused you to faint as well, Miss Hart. It was the sound of Kay crash landing onto the storeroom floor. I think we've got a good grasp on what occurred up to this point now. Nurse Needler, if you would continue. Sure, so I found Kay, and next I found Miss Ringer, and I put them both in the clothes box. We couldn't risk any of the auction goers seeing them. That would have caused a real hullabaloo. Was that your idea, or the ringleaders? Theirs. Putting the raincoat on this ringer was my own idea. I imagine they were none too pleased when it showed up as a surprise piece of evidence in this case. The ringleader and I put her in the auctioneer's outfit we'd prepared. Of course, which completed the deception and made everyone think she was the auctioneer. On all, the auction finished up without anybody noticing anything, and that was that. I wish I could tell you more, but I'm sorry, that's all I know. Oh, except for the one other thing. It seemed a little strange, I guess. When I was pouring Miss Ringer's clothes, I took everything I could, but I couldn't take her hair, obviously, so ouch! Her hair was totally different, the style, the length, everything. I kind of panicked. But the ringleader thought of everything, including wigs. 2 of them, in fact. There was a straight one and a wavy one. They were both stashed in the clothes box. Anyway, I took the straight one. That was the one that matched her hair on the day. Leaving a wavy wig in the box.
Interesting.
That's everything you know. There's nothing else you're forgetting? No? Huh? No, really, Grandma, that's everything.
Oh, well, Miles, are we about done? You've proven the nurse was part of the murder plot. But sadly for you, it doesn't change a whole lot. Because it does nothing to prove that Kay Faraday isn't the ringleader.
What? It just did. It just did.
Yeah, it literally proves. She just admitted. I found this unconscious girl on the ground. But don't worry, the auction is still going just fine.
Objection! Yes! Francisca, what are you doing here?
As I told you before, Miles Edgeworth, where the case leads, I follow. I'm only here to deliver the truth regarding the suspect. I'm certainly not here to forgive you for abandoning the way of the prosecutor. You should thank your former subordinate for what I'm about to share. In his desperation to help Kay Faraday, he gave me a valuable piece of information. Horsey Ringer's head wound was the first of the injuries she suffered, not the second.
We already knew this.
We just solved this! Been here like an hour ago, please.
Well, somebody say something.
We already proved it out ourselves.
You, what?
Yes, just a few minutes ago.
Oh! Well, why didn't you say so sooner? And I suppose you know about the murder weapon too.
No, not yet.
Ah, good. Then listen up. The victim was struck on the head with a blunt object bearing a circular surface. And the wounds to the chest were inflicted post-mortem.
And you're certain of that, I assume. Your sources are above board.
2 trusted medical professionals reached the same conclusion independently. You couldn't ask for more.
That's certainly good to know. Unfortunately, you're overstepping the bounds of.
Of what? I am the prosecutor in charge of Interpol's investigation into the underground auction. And this murder occurred during said auction. It would be negligent of me not to pursue leads pertaining to related parties, especially the victim.
My, you've really become quite the force to be reckoned with, haven't you, my dear?
Then all parties are in agreement. The victim died from a blow to the head. Sadly, the murder weapon itself has yet to be identified.
An object with a circular surface used in an auction. We are obviously talking about the auctioneer's hammer. An auctioneer's hammer, of course.
Oh, we never found one of those!
If the auctioneer was indeed the killer, it does seem a likely candidate for the murder weapon. But without the evidence to support your theory, remains nothing more than that.
Oh, I have just the evidence you need right here. Miss Hart told us something very important about the auction after the murder occurred. She said that the very prominent sound of the auctioneer's hammer could no longer be heard. Now, why would that be? I'll tell you why. Because it had just been used in a murder and was covered in the victim's blood. It would need to be disposed of. Isn't that right? Chairman Winner?
I'll have our people look into this right away.
Seems very confident we'll never find it.
He incinerated it!
Very well. A search for the murder weapon will be conducted. In the meantime, this court is in recess. Miss Von Karma, if you'll be so kind as to update us on the progress of the search. It's not good news, I'm afraid. The entire Bigg building has been searched from top to bottom, and no auctioneer's hammer was found anywhere.
Ah, that is bad news indeed. Then we have no choice but to move ahead with the verdict.
Why? Such a terrible shame. I suppose only a fool would have left a murder weapon behind. It's certainly not what I expect from a first-rate criminal mind.
No, there's just not enough to work with here. I can't carry us any further on my own.
Yes, it really is a tragedy, but such is life, I suppose. I was just thinking back over the defendants I've made plea deals with over the years. People who poured their hearts out to me, who trust me with every detail of their crimes. And then, when it came to their sentencing, I recommended life in prison every time. For every single one. Oh, if only you could see them. The stupid, dumbfounded looks on their faces.
The verdict will now be passed. All present will accept the goddess's word as law.
Fuck that.
If only we had some proof! I never imagined I would be passing judgment on you under such circumstances. By the power vested in me, Excelsius winner, this court hereby indicts you for your crimes!
What?
What?
Ah, what on earth's gotten into you, Verity?
I submit for the court's consideration the case file of a certain incident, namely the IS-7 incident, and that took place 18 years ago. I love that she's on our side.
What the heck are you doing, Cavell? You can't just accuse my dad without proper grounds. It's defamation.
An excellent observation, Eustace.
Huh? It is?
And of course I have the grounds to make such an accusation. 18 years ago, Mr. Manfred von Karma had some details about the victim's body fabricated. My papa? Fabricating information? What is the meaning of this? Ian Seidman, the detective originally assigned to the case, did in fact report that the body had gone missing. However, it seems that a certain someone wasn't very pleased with Mr. von Karma, and deliberately withheld that information or to bring him down for a few pegs. What? This individual refused to allow anyone to go against their wishes or to challenge their power. And anyone to go to extreme lengths in order to bring those who defy them to heel. In fact, they even ordered Dr. Hertz to create a fake autopsy report for the IS-7 incident. What? She was responsible for the fake report? Wait, you have to understand, Grandma, she's not a bad person. She had to do what he said. She didn't have any choice. The person in question was the chief prosecutor at the time. The man who gave Papa the first penalty of his career? Excelsius winner, it was you!
Objection!
What are you all talking about? My dad would never do something like that.
Overruled.
I'm sorry, Eustace, but your opinion on the matter is not needed here. Well, Chairman Winner, do you have anything to say for yourself?
All that nonsense with the body. That was Manfred's doing. Such a willful boy. And the fake autopsy report? Hilda, how could you? I can't believe you naughty kids would do such dishonest things behind my back.
Hold it!
What is going on here?
We could just ask her why she did it. She is standing right over there, after all. Wait, Grandma can't. She's... Ouch! Grandma, I'm sorry. I knew. That's why I said he was going to charge you if I didn't help them with your plan. So you were coerced into it, were you, Nurse Needler? And just to be clear, the auctioneer was Chairman Winner. I'm sorry, but I honestly don't know. The person forcing me to help them was the auctioneer. And they definitely looked to be about the same build as the chairman. But I never saw their face. Well, there must be something. A detail, no matter how small, will do. Their mask didn't cover their whole face. The beard. And the part that wasn't covered had a tattoo on it. I remember that much for sure. A tattoo.
Is he wearing a wig? Like, a wig of that much hair would be utterly ridiculous. So now until I get proof otherwise, he's wearing a wig. This all sounds very dramatic, but I really don't know what you're talking about. There's no tattoo anywhere on my face. I think I'd know if there was one, wouldn't you? Which means I can't be the ringleader, no matter how much you may want me to be.
I am not the only one who has been trying to bring you to justice. Miss Ringer had been trying too.
Young Rosie was looking to take me down, you say? But why? I barely knew her.
You barely knew the victim. Why, I do believe that is a new statement. The goddess demands that you offer your full testimony on the record.
If that's the way you want to play it, fine. I'll destroy you all. Every last one of you.
Now, Chairman Winner, you will tell this court everything you know about Miss Ringer.
Young Rosie was a member of the committee, of course. But we never really had any personal interactions. At least, none that I can remember.
Hold it!
So you're saying you barely knew the victim at all?
That's exactly what I'm saying, my boy, yes. Why, I've never even known about that burn mark on her hand.
Oh.
Hold it!
You're sure you didn't know about the burn mark?
You really don't let up, do you? I'm not in the habit of memorizing who has a scar on their hand and who doesn't.
But this wasn't just any old scar. I'd say it's pretty noticeable, in fact. Perhaps under normal circumstances. Well, now that I think about it, Miss Stringer did always wear gloves. Oh, truth be told, I wasn't aware of the burn mark until after the incident myself. The victim's hands were always covered by a pair of gloves.
Hold it!
So you remember her always wearing gloves?
I mean, it was something of a trademark of hers, yes. Who knew it was to hide a burn mark? I always imagined it was just a fashion statement.
Always wore gloves. The photo of the one in the raincoat does not have gloves on.
Because I think it's the plushie, because it mentioned one of the people recorded has a prominent burn, so we know they don't have gloves there.
That's true. So let's use that.
Objection!
So Miss Stringer always wore gloves. If she did, that raises a rather important question. Highlights quite a contradiction. If we listen again to the conversation that was captured by this stuffed cow, you'll soon see what I mean.
Blah, blah, blah. We know about the burn mark.
We can be reasonably certain that we just heard, well, what we just heard is that the victim the moment was there. I knew it was you the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. We assume that those were the words of the killer.
And where's the problem with that? It seems like a perfectly sensible assumption to me.
I'm afraid not, Chairman Winner. But you see, if the victim was always wearing gloves, as you just testified, then the burn mark on her hand should not have been visible to her killer.
Objection!
You speak as if gloves can't be easily removed. She could have taken them off during the auction.
That's... But she hadn't. She was still wearing them when I changed places with her.
What are you saying, my dear? You do know how much trouble you're in, don't you?
I'm not scared of you anymore. I have Grandma on my side now. Now it's time for you to pay the piper, Winner, you dang devil.
I see. So you're both looking to disappear too. Oh, my beard! That can be arranged.
Not this time, Excelsius Winner. The only person disappearing will be you.
Hey, you can't talk to my dad like that. Who cares if the burn was covered up? Why does that even matter?
Because it turns out it's something with a burn mark on its head.
What can the fact that the victim's burn mark was covered up possibly tell us?
Think about it like this, Mr. Winner. The victim was wearing gloves, therefore the burn mark on her hand would not have been visible. In which case, whose burn mark was it that was being referenced in the recording?
Somebody who, wasn't the victim? Wow.
Precisely, which can only mean that the culprit had a prominent burn mark too. Or to put it another way, I knew it was you for the moment I laid eyes on you. You can't hide that burn from me. Those words were spoken not by the murderer, but by the victim.
No way!
Oh!
Objection!
Eustace, my boy, would you mind stepping aside for a second? I have to burn this attorney. Look, Miles, it's nice to see you having fun with your little flights of fancy. But let's get serious. So the murderer had a burn mark now. Really? Where? Your little theory will either take flight or die, depending on your answer here, I'm afraid.
Take that!
Here's my evidence. The outfit the ringleader was wearing throughout the auction. Or rather, the outfit you were wearing, Chairman Winner.
And what exactly is that supposed to tell us,
A suit, white gloves, and a mask. This disguise should have covered almost all of your skin. But according to Nurse Needler's testimony, the auctioneer's mask didn't quite cover your entire face. And not only that, she claims to have seen a tattoo on the part that was exposed. But was it a tattoo? Or did she simply mistake a burn mark for one?
A burn mark? On the face? Sorry to interrupt while you're so clearly enjoying yourself, dear boy. But I regret to inform you, none of the committee members have such a burn. But Dad, Eustace, do you think you can be quiet, please? You can be foolish on your own time later.
Because Eustace knows about the mark.
Yeah? Where is the burn mark? Where is this burn then? Perhaps you could point it out to me. But you can't, can you? Because it's nowhere to be found. Just like your evidence that I'm the killer. Yeah, hunt for contradictions all you like. You won't find any. Because he's my dad, a winner through and through.
Objection!
I understand, Mr. Winner. I completely understand why you don't want to believe it's true. But if you ignore the truth now, you'll regret it for as long as you live.
Dad, what do I do? I just don't understand it. How could I have raised such an utter buffoon? If you really wish to help your father, Eustace, you can try thinking on your own for once in your life, you useless nitwit! But I try all the time, Dad. All I do is try. I went to the school you wanted me to go to. I aced every test. Look at my jacket. They only give these things to the what? Right? He was a valedictorian?
Holy shit, okay.
I did everything you told me to. I worked like crazy and graduated top of my class. I tried to be just like you and win as many trophies as I could. You really are just a simpering simpleton, aren't you?
Oh.
Those tests you aced. I had the school give you perfect scores on all of them.
Oh my god!
Those debate and speech competitions you won, the judges were all friends of mine. You never even realized that much. There's no hope for you, I'm afraid. None at all. You're no son of mine. Even you must see that.
Oh. I actually feel very sorry for Winner there. Oh god.
Oh, God, my own son. They all leave in the end. I mean, boo. Even when he was trying, he was failing. And he did it all for me. Then he should have tried harder.
You are a disgrace. You don't deserve to be a father. And you certainly don't deserve to be the chairman of this committee. Even I feel sorry for that boy now.
Poor Mr. Winner.
Explain yourself, Chairman Winner. Just what do you think your son is to treat him in such a way?
An utterly useless pawn sounds about right. But you're one to talk, Verity. You tried to worm your way into my trust by using Eustace too.
I cannot deny it. However, I have never thought of him as a mere pawn. He may not be a naturally gifted prosecutor, but he tries. In some ways, he tries harder than anybody. That's what I have witnessed during my time with him. Yet you would call him useless? How could you?
Objection.
Because he is Verity, my girl. He is utterly incapable of doing anything I ask of him.
Mr. Edgeworth, I entrust my offering to the goddess to you, so that you may use it to call her final judgment unto Excelsior's Winner. Thank you, Your Honor. I've been more than ready to do so. Which piece of evidence will help us reveal the burn mark on the culprit's face?
Take that.
Recall Nurse Needler's testimony, if you will. There was one thing we never quite resolved. The second wig, the one that wasn't used. I seem to remember it being wavy. Nurse Needler apparently found some very interesting items when she went to swap places with the victim. And what they say have to do with the burn mark? What she found were two wigs. One was intended to make her look more like the victim. What was the other one for? Compare Chairman Winner's current appearance to that of the ringleader, as it was described to us.
Oh shit! Stop it! Stop staring at me!
One very prominent difference presents itself. His face, or rather, what's around it. You mean?
It wasn't a wig after all, but a beard!
Indeed, not a wig intended to go on top of the head, in any case. It was a fake beard all along, wasn't it? Excelsior's Winner! We saw how your son reacted when he realized the truth, and how he desperately tried to cover for you even in light of his realization. Yet you still fear that he might expose you. So rather than take that risk, you bullied him until he couldn't take it anymore. Because he knew that your beard hides a prominent burn mark. Chairman Winner, I insist that you remove your beard this instant.
Ah! My beard is on fire! Oh my god! It's a skull.
Of course it is.
There it is! The burn mark!
Mr. Edgeworth, for bringing evil justice before the eyes of the goddess, you have my thanks. Excelsior's Winner, in the name of the goddess, I hereby pronounce my verdict. In the matter of the murder of Miss Rosie Ringer, this court finds you guilty.
Mr. Edgeworth, I can't thank you enough. Okay, cool. Case solved. Can we send Kay back to the hospital now? You never gave up on me, even when I gave up on myself. That was very kind of you.
There's no need to thank me. As a friend, it was the least I could do. Mr. Edgeworth, rejoice. I have learned that Chairman Winner has been safely delivered to the detention center. The search for the missing auction hammer continues. However, we are talking about Chairman Winner here, so it's highly likely that it's already been destroyed. The chairman made a rather strange statement. According to him, the letters were not part of his plan. What? How could that be? He claims that he and Miss Needler found this letter on Miss Ringer's person, and that they found a second letter on Kay's unconscious body. From their contents, the letters seemed to ones of correspondence. So he led to the conclusion that they must have been working with each other. As he read the letters, that's when he came up with the idea to frame Miss Faraday for Miss Ringer's murder. Sounds to me like he's just trying to make excuses for himself. Yes, I certainly thought the same.
Perhaps it was some sort of last exploit on his part, but it matters not. You will answer to the goddess now. Dr. Cavell, before you go, can you tell us what you know about how Chairman Winner came to murder Miss Ringer? Miss Ringer once had a lover, a press photographer. He was investigating the underground auctions as a freelance journalist. But before he could uncover the truth behind the auctions, he was... disappeared. All Miss Ringer was left with were the memories and personal effects of her lover. And so, seeking revenge on Chairman Winner, she made her appearance at the auction. Unfortunately for her, her opponent struck first. In any case, I must take my leave.
Wait, please! What about Mr. Edgeworth's badge? He quit, remember? What's going to happen to it now?
With its chairman under arrest, the committee's activities have been suspended for the time being. So to answer your question, it's complicated. It's all up to the goddess now. Don't worry about it, Kay. It's a consequence of my own making. And I assume you do not mean to change your mind. Of course not. I chose the path of the truth, and I will choose it willingly. If you did wish to follow the path of the prosecutor again, Mr. Edgeworth, I would be more than happy to facilitate such a decision. It's very kind of you to offer, but I can't accept your help at this time. I can't ask for my badge back when I'm not even sure if I want it anymore. I see. It seems we're destined to continue on different paths then. Well, I trust you'll keep my badge safe until they converge again. With all I have. In the meantime, I have here a token of the goddess's mercy. You may return this notebook to its rightful owner. It seems it was due to be sold in the auction. And with the name K written on its cover, Chairman Winner made the connection immediately. Apparently he thought that Miss Faraday was after her notebook, and Miss Ringer was after his life, and that their respective goals are what led them to cooperate and infiltrate the auction together. Unfortunately for him, he misread the situation completely. It was all just happenstance. So,
someone else is framing K?
Perhaps.
So if K's not involved with the letters, then who is? Is everything alright?
Judge Cavell wanted me to return something important to you. Aww.
Isn't that? Always greet people with a smile, even people you don't know. Never cry in front of strangers. Aww. Daddy, I wrote them all down, Daddy. Yeah, I'm gonna keep all my promises and be a real hero when I grow up, just like you. Oh wait, I forgot to write one down. The most important promise of all. Promise number 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. I remembered it just how you said it, and now I'll never forget it. That's right. I have to try. What the hell is going on, Kay? You're losing it. I'm Kay Faraday. The great thief will do anything the second the undercrosser and assistant to Mr. Edgeworth.
She's back. She's back.
Kay, is that really you?
Can't say I'm not a little bit embarrassed, but yeah, I'm back, and I couldn't have done it without you, Mr. Edgeworth. You never stopped helping me, even when I was totally lost and couldn't remember anything.
Thank goodness. You certainly seem to be back.
I am so happy I can be her cheerful voice again, being her more neutral, sad voice.
Look how smug she looks now. Kay, so this is the real you, huh? Welcome back.
Man, my voice acting for the nurse has been perfection.
For the doctor, you mean?
Yeah, doctor.
It's so good to know you're back. I can sleep easy now. Now that you found it, don't you dare go loosen that memory of yours again, young lady, you hear? And if you really are better, how about you gotta get out of them damaged hospital duds? Oh yeah, I washed all your clothes for you, here. I thought they were with Detective Gumshoe. He handed them over to us after they came back from forensics. And did he happen to mention if forensics found anything of note? I didn't ask. Anyway, never mind that now. Put them on, Kay. I want to see.
Wait, what about the bandages? Sure, it's too soon to remove them.
Oh, it's probably fine. She may have taken a big old bump to the head, but she wasn't really hurt otherwise.
Why all the bandages in the first place?
Prevention is better than cure. A stitch in time saves 9. Those are just a few of my mottos. Okay, Kay, transformation time.
Yeah, now this is what I'm talking about. Fits like a stolen glove.
That smile suits you better too.
Thanks to you too, Miss Von Karma. I'm so glad you showed up when you did.
I simply came when Scoffy asked me to. Anyway, I have to be going, and I'll be taking Source with me.
Wait, what's going to happen to them?
Acting as an accomplice in a murder and forging an autopsy report 18 years ago.
Is there not a statute of limitations for the autopsy report thing?
But the fact that it's that Excelsior Winner coerced them into cooperating will, of course, be taken into account. Don't you worry about us, Kay. As long as Grandma and me are together, we'll be alright. Take care, Kay Faraday, until we meet again. So, Kay,
I know you only just got your memory back, but I need to ask you some questions. What happened the day you lost your memory? What were you doing?
Let's see. Somebody asked me to meet them at Gold Lake. I didn't know who it was. So there I was, just looking up at the moon when somebody in a red raincoat started walking towards me. They must have drugged me somehow because that's when I fell unconscious.
What? I'm not sure I follow. He was at Gold Lake looking up at the moon.
Anyway, when I came to, I was on the roof of this building. I was in a daze and stumbling around up there when I saw the person in the red raincoat again, but they were lying on the ground. I was so surprised. I stumbled backward and fell down a hole, and then I was falling and everything went dark. When I came to the second time, I couldn't remember anything. The person in the red raincoat, who in the world were they? I know exactly who it was. The person who wore it last time, Shelly the Killer. I'm sure they were walking in midair. Ugh, think about it's making my head hurt.
Just breathe, Kay. I imagine the root cause of your confusion is... I imagine things are all mixed up in your mind because you were at Gold Lake one minute and then at the top of the big building the next. And because you saw the moon in both locations, your mind blended your memories of the two together.
Huh, those are two totally different places. I know I was pretty out of it, but I don't think I could have gotten them confused that easily.
There are two key similarities between this scene down by Gold Lake and here on top of the big building. Cherry blossoms and food stands. I guess it's a blank statement that both would have worked. Those similarities are what cause your memories of the both places to overlap. The person in the red raincoat wasn't walking in midair. They were walking toward you from across the park.
Who steals a great thief of memories, huh? That's just cheating.
Even still, this doesn't answer the question of who attacked Kay in the park. You hear that?
It sounds like it's coming from up in the storeroom. Let's go! Well, oh wait, I smell another scoop in the oven.
You're still here?
But of course, I'm Southern. It's coming from this little gadget here, Mr. Edgeworth.
This transceiver. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
Is it seriously the killer?
I think it's the killer.
Just answer it, somebody. It's still going. Come on, you have to pick it up. Fine, I'll do it myself. Hey, this is Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth, I presume? Shelly the killer!
Oh my god, it is the killer!
Basically what happened, that I'm just gonna skip my theory here. He realized that someone else was messing up his assassination of the president, and that was the smuggling ring. So he concocted an elaborate plan to get Edgeworth in the right spots because of Kay to destroy the smuggling ring. Congratulations on another case solved. Yet I can't truly say it's been fully resolved, can you? I'm sure you've noticed by now that there was a mastermind at work orchestrating the entire incident. How do you even know about this case? That's not what's important right now. Let's focus on this certain individual for the time being, shall we? I have indeed been wondering myself if somebody else could have been involved. Not how are we explaining the piece of evidence that proved so damning to Kay's case.
No way! An evil mastermind? But, who?
Oh, indeed. Perhaps you could share your thoughts? The letter Kay supposedly wrote to the victim.
Yeah, I don't remember ever writing that.
So who did? Who would prepare such a thing? I know I'm not the only one who would like to know. And how do we know it wasn't you? Now why would I do a thing like that, I believe the truth can only fully come to light in a court of law. But since you've had your badge revoked, that is no longer an option. So how will it all end? I for one will be watching from the sidelines with interest. Oh, and one last thing. I do hope you won't betray my trust in you. Now, I bid you farewell. It seems we've only scratched the surface of this case. But even without my badge, I'm going to carry on doing what I can.